Chapter 750. Let's try it then. Zhou Yan grinned. You'll know how difficult it is after you try it. I practiced for a long time before I could do 6 consecutive floats. The girl lowered her head and casually picked up a stone. Zhou Yan immediately said, No, you didn't pick a good stone. You have to choose a flat or disc-shaped one. It's okay, I'm just practicing. Sister E, you have to be careful with everything. Zhou Yan had a strong sense of variety. He pulled the stone from Xiangyi's hand and led her to choose carefully. He even commented on the stones one by one. If it's too big, it won't do. If it's too fat, it won't do either. If it's too ugly, it won't do either. The effect of the variety show was immediately apparent. Yan Baoyan is a dog. 3-year-old Yan is so cute when he takes Sister E to look for stones. I'm laughing so hard. Sister E is so difficult. She feels like she's taking care of her children every day. You baby, Lan baby, and now there's a giant baby, Yan Bao. Finally, Zhou Yan chose a suitable stone. He even pretended to be serious and gave a scientific explanation. Sister E, do you know why stones bounce when you're playing water? It's actually very simple. The greater the flow rate, the smaller the pressure. Stones are denser than water. When you're playing water, the water will flow quickly in a short period of time, so the water surface will exert pressure on the stone. When the pressure is greater than the gravity of the stone will bounce up. The more the situation is repeated, the more the stone will bounce on the water surface. Xiangyi agreed. Yes, the principle of fluid dynamics. Zhou Yan gave her a thumbs up. Smart. The audience in the live stream was dumbfounded. Isn't it just playing water? Why is it so advanced? Xiangyi weighed the stone in her hand. She had to admit that Zhou Yan had chosen a good one. It felt great to the touch. The girl pinched the stone with her thumb and index finger behind. Seeing her gesture, Zhou Yan exclaimed, Hey, you're an expert. Xiangyi smiled calmly and slowly bent down. Her posture was elegant and casual. She didn't seem to use much strength. She moved the stone with her index finger, but the stone was thrown out by her with great force. It spun and was thrown out by her. Bang! Bang! After a dozen or so sounds, the rock finally sank into the water with a plop. Zhou Yan, ? The audience, ? Was it an illusion? It must be. However, Xiangyi made a sound as if she was not satisfied with the result. She took out a spare stone and threw it again. The familiar banging sound dominated everyone once more. This time, it rang a total of 23 times. Zhou Yan was dumbfounded. Recalling what he had just said, Call me big brother and I'll teach you, he awkwardly dug his toes into the soles of his shoes. He wished he could jump into the pond right then and there. This doesn't make any sense. The girl opened her cherry lips and said in a soft voice, There was once a professor who, through the weight and speed of a stone, as well as the influence of air and other conditions, summed up a famous equation, the floating in water equation. Zhou Yan was confused. Huh. The audience was in a daze. Sister E is bluffing, right? Am I right? Xiangyi continued. This equation is mxa equals p mg plus air effect. M represents mass, A represents vertical acceleration, P represents the feedback pressure of the water surface, and mg represents gravity. Through this equation, it played an important role in the study of the problem of aircraft freezing. It has also been applied in the field of criminal investigation to calculate blood splatter. Zhou Yan? The audience? Sorry to disturb, I'm really disturbing. Is this science? Sorry, I'm not worthy of playing water. Chapter 751. Zhou Yan was speechless. This is what it means to be pretentious and get struck by lightning. This is it. Zhou Yan, who had been calling her big brother just a moment ago, immediately changed his tone. Brother E, please accept my bow. Zhou Yan had a strong sense of variety. He immediately cupped his hands towards Xiangyi and exclaimed, From today onwards, you're my big brother. Xiangyi said, You don't have to be so polite. No, brother E, please teach me how to hit the water. Men know when to yield and when not. Xiangyi said, Actually, there's a little trick. When you throw the stone, try to keep your arm and body at 45 degrees, and the stone at 20 degrees from the horizontal. In the live stream. Why am I taking notes seriously when I'm relaxing while watching a variety show? Damn it, I went to Google and found out that Xiangyi's equation for hitting the water is actually true. The world record for hitting the water is 88 jumps? What kind of godly person is this? There's actually a competition for hitting the water. If you can hit the water more than 20 times, you're almost at the level of a professional player. Doesn't that mean that Sister E is a big shot at hitting the water? Everyone was speechless. Sister E is so terrifying. Zhou Yan was completely convinced by Xiangyi. On the way back, he kept calling her Brother E and wished that he could become sworn brothers with her on the spot. The two picked some seasonal fruits and returned. Zhou Yan volunteered to wash them and soon brought them out. Seeing Su Rendong, who was so weak that he looked like he could be blown away by a gust of wind, he couldn't help but walk towards Su Rendong even though his rationality told him to stay away from him. Here, these are freshly washed fruits. Try them. Considering Su Rendong's obsession with cleanliness, he added, I washed them twice. Su Rendong's eyes were full of shock. Only twice. That doubt came from the bottom of his heart. The corners of Zhou Yan's mouth twitched. What else? Su Rendong opened his mouth, wanting to say something but hesitated. He picked up a peach and gently rubbed it with his fingertips. In the end, he couldn't bring himself to eat it. He asked hesitantly, did you use fruit and vegetable detergent? Or did they use baking soda instead of starch? Did you soak it in salt water again? Zhou Yan. He stared at Su Rendong expressionlessly for a few seconds, then snatched the peach back and took a bite. The peach was juicy and sweet. He squinted his eyes in enjoyment and said vaguely, don't make things difficult for yourself. I'll eat it for you. Su Rendong looked even more shocked. You didn't wash the things I touched before eating them? Zhou Yan. Zhou Yan shut himself off. In the eyes of outsiders, the interaction between the two of them clearly confirmed the rumors of discord. Xiangyi washed the fruit again and took out a pair of disposable gloves. Su Rendong reluctantly ate some of the fruit with the gloves on. However, the taste of the peaches did amaze him. A certain germaphobe silently took a few more bites. Zhou Yan was a natural little son. He was not depressed for long and returned to normal. Best actor, I heard that you're going to be the male lead in director Mu Si's movie. What a coincidence. He asked me to sing the promotional song for the movie in China. The composer is Su Rendong. Shi Sui said politely, oh, that must be fate. Li Jianyu crossed his legs behind the camera and teased, this is a one-stop service. From the actors to the promotion, everything is done. At this moment, a staff member hurriedly handed him his phone. On the screen, there was a trending topic, hashtag Su Rendong plagiarized. Chapter 752. Li Jianyu was confused. What the hell is this trending topic? After browsing through it, Li Jianyu's temples began to throb violently. There weren't many likes and comments on this trending topic, but it was ranked very high. At first glance, it was obvious that someone had paid for it. The accusation was directed at Su Shindong, accusing him of plagiarism. The plagiarist was his younger brother, Su Sini. Su Sini's name entered the eyes of netizens for the first time. Someone dug up his information. He was a graduate of a top music school and was a standard academic. In contrast, Su Shindong was just an ordinary music major from a second-tier normal school. In the first half of their lives, one was an elite while the other was a commoner. To put it bluntly, he was a good-for-nothing. There weren't many comments, but they were all on Su Sini's side. To be honest, it's ridiculous that Su Shindong, who graduated from a second-tier school, could create so many classic songs. Su Sini studied at the top 3 music schools in the world. He can't get in without some skills. It's enough to prove his excellence. Does Su Shindong really not know how to blush? He even plagiarized his own brother's work. Oh my, I just learned something new. They aren't biological brothers. Su Shindong's mother is suspected to be a homewrecker who took over his position. The Su family was considered a small wealthy family, and when it came to the love and hatred between wealthy families, it had always been the most eye-catching. The news of Su Xindong's plagiarism spread like wildfire. The fake trending topic brought in real traffic. After reading it, many people went straight to the live stream of Two Under One Roof to question Su Xindong. The bullet screen comments flooded the screen, but Su Xindong was still oblivious to it. He quietly wore his headphones and tapped a few beats from time to time. The thing that pushed the matter to the climax was Su Xini's updated Weibo. Su Xini, sorry, I didn't mean to take up public resources. Thank you to all my friends who care about me. I'm in a mess now. I've been tolerating it all these years. I thought I could endure it for the rest of my life. After all, we're a family, but forget it, let's not talk about it. I hope it didn't affect everyone's mood. I wish you all the best. He put his palms together. His decent speech attracted countless likes. Commenters. This was what it meant to be the successor of a wealthy family, showing off his elegance. When they saw Su Honeymoon's social phobia and otaku appearance on the screen, all kinds of trolls came online. My heart aches for Su Xini. I feel like this little brother is a very gentle person. Dragons give birth to dragons and phoenixes give birth to phoenixes. Sure enough, the child of a mistress likes to snatch other people's things. Are you planning to keep such a notorious artist around for the new year? Hurry up and ask him to leave. I don't want to see him for even a second. Everyone was agitated, and Li Jinyu was also a little anxious, not knowing how to deal with it. Yet, Zhou Yan and Xiangyi were still talking about the topic of composition. Zhou Yan said, "Sigh, actually, I've written songs before, but my agent said that each note of Su Rendong's songs is worth thousands of dollars. No one would want my songs even if I offered them money." Xiangyi chuckled. "Are you exaggerating? You don't believe me? I'll hum it for you." Zhou Yan cleared his throat and hummed a melody. His voice was clear and melodious, skillful and full of emotions, but it didn't make the melody any less unpleasant. Xiangyi's expression went from being calm to frowning. The viewers in the live stream teased, "Sister E, are you wearing a mask of pain?" Ha. Chapter 753. The song came to an end. Zhou Yan felt good about himself and asked everyone expectantly, "How was it? Don't you think I have some talent in composing?" "I'll drink some water to calm down first." Xiangyi sipped some water for a while. "Other people need money to compose, but yours, is it life-threatening?" Shi Sui said, "I heard that you wanted to debut as a singer-songwriter back then. Congratulations, you didn't go astray." "It's not that bad." Zhou Yan looked at Su Nindong, the only one in the living room who hadn't spoken. "Come on, great composer, you judge for me." Su Nindong hesitated for 2 seconds before saying softly, "It's all right." Everyone was speechless. Does Su Nindong have no sense of hearing or aesthetics? You're just going to lick it if it's toxic, right? I'm now very suspicious of Su Nindong's professional standards. Plagiarism is a fact. He must have plagiarized Su Xini's song. Poor Su Xini, not only did he lose his father, but he also lost his own painstaking efforts. Zhou Yan, on the other hand, was like a kindergartner who had been praised by a little red flower. "Su Nindong, I knew you knew me." He proudly raised his chin at Xiangyi and Shi Sui, as if he was showing off. Su Nindong adjusted his black-rimmed glasses and looked at the grand piano in the living room. "Can I borrow the piano?" Xiangyi said, "Sure, do you want me to disinfect it first?" "No need." Su Nindong lowered his head shyly. "I'll do it myself." Xiangyi immediately understood. The man carefully cleaned the piano, even the pedals and the strings were not spared. He stretched out his hands, his fingers long and slender, like a work of art carefully carved by God. He casually and lazily played a melody, which was exactly the same as the one Zhou Yan was humming just now. Zhou Yan's face changed drastically and the corners of his mouth twitched incessantly with a pained expression. "My song, is it that bad?" Shi Sui and Xiangyi didn't cover their ears, which was already the greatest respect they could give him. Su Nindong, who was sitting in front of the piano, seemed to have become a different person, confident and dazzling. When doing what he was good at, he could overcome his social phobia to a certain extent. "There is still hope," he said. Su Rendong pondered for more than 10 seconds before playing one note after another. Generally speaking, it was the same melody as before. But miraculously, the song had unexpectedly become pleasant to listen to. Only a few minor changes were made, as well as the addition of a few chords. Yet, it was as though Atibi, the muse in charge of music, had kissed his fingertips, granting him an unbelievable miracle. Zhou Yan listened attentively and deliberately turned his body so that his right ear could be closer to the sound of the piano. Xiangyi was also interested. She took out a guitar and plucked the strings with her soft white fingertips. Based on Su Ninong's modifications, she made another version. Isn't this better? Su Rendong. His eyes shone brightly. That was the look of someone who had found a confidant. Very good. Very good. Under Xiangyi's stimulation, his inspiration began to explode. If it's the chords, I can make some adjustments, like this. Try speeding it up by half a beat. I think this song is suitable for a relaxed and lively style. The two of them looked at each other and said one after another. You had a piano version, and I had a guitar version. Within half an hour, they had changed Zhou Yan's original version, which was wailing like a ghost and howling like a wolf and saw like a saw, into an incomparably pleasant version. Zhou Yan, the sky has cleared up, the rain has stopped, I feel like I can do it again. Chapter 754. He muttered to himself, I, Zhou Yan, am a genius composer. Sure sway? The audience? Kiss, do you have some misunderstanding about yourself? Haha, Yen Bao, the current version is not exactly the same as yours, but at least it's completely unrelated. What's a million tuners? Sister Yi and Su Rendong are simply millions of tuners. After Xiangyi and Su Rendong finished editing the song, Zhou Yan recorded the entire process with his cell phone and said happily, I want to use this as my ringtone. Brother Yi, you're amazing. Xiangyi smiled and didn't steal the credit. Su Rendong is amazing. I modified the song based on his and he modified it based on yours. Zhou Yan was speechless. It was a little heart-wrenching. Su Rendong, who had always been socially phobic, pursed his lips and carefully said, Zhou Yan, can you send me a copy? Although he knew that the staff would have a recording, after thinking about it, he felt that Zhou Yan was the only one he could ask. Zhou Yan said casually, no problem. However, when he was about to send it, he realized that he had already blacklisted Su Rendong. Pretending as if nothing had happened, Zhou Yan released him from the blacklist and sent the audio over. Su Rendong's fingertips paused on his profile picture for a moment before saving the audio. After editing it briefly on his cell phone, he asked for Zhou Yan's permission. Can I post it on Weibo? It's a small matter, up to you, Zhou Yan said with a smile. Soon after, Su Rendong's fans received a push notification. Su Rendong V. It was a period and an audio clip. The name of the audio clip was Composer, Zhou Yan, Xiangyi, Su Rendong. The fans had long been used to his way of posting on Weibo, and they all clicked to forward it. Su Rendong had turned off the comment function, so the fans could only express their feelings in this way. Ah, you're finally here. I'm clocking in. Su Rendong is always a god. Damn, this is so good. I'm in a good mood after listening to it. I've added the single on loop. Meanwhile, Su Xini, Su Xindong's younger brother, saw the post. He was overseas, so he didn't watch the live broadcast, nor did he care to watch it. Anyway, in his opinion, the higher Su Rendong climbed, the better it would be for him to step on him. As for Zhou Yan and Xiangyi, he was not familiar with them and thought that they were just friends of Su Rendong. The corners of Su Xini's mouth curled up. He thought that he had thought of a good plan. With the experience of working together, Su Rendong was able to relax a little. Gradually, he was able to chat with Xiangyi. Xiangyi found that his knowledge of music theory was quite rich. Whether it was classical music or pop music, his basic skills were very solid. He also had his own unique views on traditional folk music and opera. I think combining rap and opera will be a new trend. Music was Su Rendong's passion, and his eyes were always shining when he talked about it. Zhou Yan, I know how to rap. He improvised a freestyle. Xiangyi also tried humming a scene. Su Rendong's eyes shone even brighter. His brain, which was originally dried up, was now like a dry well that was suddenly filled with water. Inspiration. Boundless inspiration was gushing forth with all its might. He took out a notebook from his satchel and quickly recorded the score. At the same time, Su Sini updated his status. Su Sini V. It turns out that taking a step back doesn't give you peace of mind, but rather, you've been forced to the end of the cliff. Rendong, this song is clearly mine. Why did he sign your name and his friends? Chapter 755. After posting on Weibo, he admired the content for a while and felt that his Weibo post was really of a high standard. It was both pitiful and retreating in order to advance. He even hinted that it wasn't the first time that he had been robbed. This time, he had to make a beautiful comeback. However, a few minutes later, Su Sini refreshed the app and saw the following comments. What the hell? Say that again. A thief calling others a thief? That's too funny. Ha. He's just a rotten melon. Everyone, let's disperse. This Su Sini doesn't seem very smart. What a beautiful handsome white lotus. He's quite good-looking, why can't he be mute? Su Sini was speechless. Are these netizens out of their minds? Why aren't they speaking up for me? They're even turning around and scolding me. Su Sini was furious and was about to act pitiful to the netizens when he received a video call from his mother. He answered the call. Are you a fool? Didn't I tell you that you just had to endure for a few more years and everything in the Su family would be yours? Yet you're so eager for instant success. You want to scheme against Su Rendong? Let's see if you have the ability to do so. Now you've outsmarted yourself and even implicated me. I might as well have given birth to a piece of barbecued pork instead of you. When Su Rendong found out about the composition of the song, he felt as if he had been struck by lightning and hurriedly deleted the Weibo post. Unfortunately, it was too late. This Weibo post had already been screenshotted by countless people and became evidence of countless erasure. In the living room, Li Jinyu was dumbfounded when he saw this Weibo post. What's going on? When did this song become Su Sini's? Ruan Qing also saw it. She clicked her tongue and said, "That's not how you do it." Li Jinyu hadn't reacted yet. Wasn't this song composed by Zhou Yan? Sister Yi and Su Rendong composed it for the second time. Ruan Qing looked at him quietly for a while and stroked Li Jinyu's head with a sympathetic gaze. You must have used up all your luck to meet Sister Yi and Shi Sui. Li Jinyu was even more confused, but he felt that what Ruan Qing said was very reasonable. He laughed foolishly and said, "No way. Half of it was because I met the two of them, and half of it was because I met you." Ruan Qing, she sighed and shook her head helplessly. Forget it. He's my boyfriend. I'll just treat him as a fool's fortune." Zhou Yan and Su Rendong were both northerners. Xiangyi asked them what they liked and decided to make dumplings for dinner. Making dumplings was a very troublesome job for an ordinary family. From filling to wrapping, it took a long time. But to Xiangyi, it was a piece of cake. The girl directly used her twin knives to chop the meat and vegetables. Her speed was so fast that it almost left afterimages. After mixing 3 different fillings, they brought them to the coffee table in the living room. Everyone wrapped them up together. Even Li Jinyu and Ruan Qing came over to help. There were all kinds of shapes and sizes, from simple triangles and ingots to more complicated crescents, willow leaves, and goldfish. Although other than Xiangyi, everyone else's bags were horrible to look at. But when it came to making dumplings, the most important thing was to participate. Zhou Yan was really bad at making dumplings. He failed to make a few dumplings. He clamored for a beginner's guide and took out his phone to search for videos. However, he saw the trending topic about Su Rendong plagiarizing. He was furious. Su Rendong, your pretentious brother is causing trouble again. Su Rendong frowned. Every time he made a dumpling, he wished he could wipe his hands with a wet towel. When he heard this, he asked blankly, "I have a brother. Who is he?" Chapter 756. Zhou Yan was about to vomit blood. Your stepmother's son. She's disgusting every day. Stepmother? Zhou Yan was stunned. Su Rendong's confusion didn't seem to be an act. He really didn't know about the existence of Su Sini and his mother. I don't contact my family often. Su Rindong said embarrassedly. I have 2 accounts and I don't log into my family's account all year round. He wiped his hands and switched to his WeChat account, only to see a message from Father Su 2 years ago. Are you there? I'm going home, I have something to tell you. Su Rindong thought for a long time and replied with the word, yes. Zhou Yen inadvertently glanced at his screen and couldn't help but twitch the corners of his mouth. Xiangyi made the dumplings quickly and beautifully. She asked curiously, what happened? Zhou Yen immediately flew into a rage. His brother just posted on Weibo and said that Su Rindong plagiarized him. He even said that Su Rindong's mother is a mistress. T. Su Rindong said in a low voice, let them say whatever they want. A straight foot is not afraid of a crooked shoe. Zhou Yen gritted his teeth. Why you still like before? Forget it, do whatever you want. I don't care anymore. At this moment, a marketing account released evidence of Su Rindong plagiarizing Su Xini, but Su Xini didn't say anything this time. The evidence was simple and to the point. It was a few manuscripts and a link to a niche foreign music website. The manuscripts were the music scores of several of Su Rindong's popular songs over the years. The link was a list of the songs that Su Xini had uploaded over the years. Perhaps because the website was unpopular, the most played song only had a few dozen clicks. However, time didn't lie. That was because every song was released earlier than Su Rindong's release. The netizens immediately cursed in unison. This is real. Su Rindong's acting skills are quite good. His brother is a white lotus, but he's even more impressive. Although the Su brothers aren't good people, I feel that Su Rindong is more disgusting. What's the difference between plagiarizing someone else's music and stealing someone else's child? Zhou Yen, who said that he didn't care anymore, stopped learning how to make dumplings and started to gossip. When he saw the so-called evidence of plagiarism, he sneered. It seemed that Su Xini's stepmother had taken action. His methods were indeed much more brilliant. Hey, Su Rindong, where's your previous manuscript? Zhou Yen asked. Su Rindong answered honestly, I threw them all away. Maybe I accidentally threw them away. Zhou Yen. Infuriating. Infuriating. This person is an idiot. If it was lost once or twice, it could be a coincidence. But if it was lost both times, it was obviously very suspicious. It was probably stolen by someone, using some kind of method. However, the marketing accounts claimed that Su Rindong stole Su Xinyi's manuscripts. That was why there were those amazing songs. Just as he was fuming, Xiangyi's calm and gentle voice entered his ears. I have a way to prove my innocence. Li Jinyu, wow, what's Sister Yi's plan? Ruan Qing elbowed him and gave Xiangyi a look. If Su Rindong really did plagiarize, then Xiangyi would definitely be implicated, and she would not be able to clear her name. Xiangyi blinked, indicating that she didn't have to worry. She then slowly placed a dumpling on the steamer. We've now fallen into a misconception that the order of time is the most important thing. However, the most important thing should be the quality of the work. Or rather, the ability to create works. Chapter 757. Shi Sui immediately understood what Xiangyi meant and nodded in agreement. What the girl wanted seemed to be a competition between the two of them, but in fact, it was Su Xini's attitude. If Su Xini agreed, it meant that there were two possibilities. First, Su Xini was really capable, and the situation might become more complicated. Second, Su Xini might not be capable, but he could tamper with the music, so Su Xini just had to be on guard. If Su Xini didn't agree, it would be even simpler. He would feel guilty. In short, if Su Xindong was innocent, it wouldn't be a loss. Zhou Yen froze for a moment and also reacted. Yes. If you're capable, use your skills to speak. Li Jinyu was still dumbfounded. Sister Yi, do you mean? It's very simple. The two of them will compose a new song and release it at the same time. We can set a time limit, such as a month, and see how good the two of them are. The livestream viewers were speechless. That's a good idea, but how can we prevent plagiarism? How much money did Xiangyi receive? She gets scolded every day, and now she's trying to clear someone else's name. What if Su Xindong's song is exactly the same as Su Xini's? After all, it's not the first time he's plagiarized. Shi Sui seemed to have guessed everyone's worries as she said lazily, everyone's work will have their own mark. For example, painters will have their own habits of mixing colors and coloring techniques. There are similarities between different arts, and I think it's the same for music. The style can be similar, but the soul can't be imitated. Xiangyi, that's right. Some busybodies went to Su Xini's Weibo account and told him about Xiangyi's suggestion. Su Xini saw it, but he felt extremely guilty. How could he dare to agree? The reason why Su Xindong only got into a second-tier university was that there was an accident during the college entrance examination, and he missed out on 2 subjects. His prestigious school was donated by Father Su, and according to his standards, he wouldn't have been able to get into it. Not to mention his composing ability. Even the 4 oceans couldn't compare to him. If he were to compete, he would definitely be exposed. Hence, Su Xini immediately posted on Weibo. Su Xini v. My brother has a lot of friends, but I have nothing. I will always be alone. I understand. In this world, loneliness is the norm. No one will always be there to protect you. I won't fight for it. I'll give it to you. Is that okay? With the history of instant face slapping, there were obviously fewer netizens on his side this time, but there were still people who supported him. Why should Xiangyi compete just because she says so? Who does she think she is? She's speaking up for the son of a mistress. Does she want to be a mistress too? However, Su Xini's mother called again and scolded him. As the champion of the battle of the rich and powerful families, how could she not have guessed that Xiangyi's intention was not to compete, but to test her? Idiot! How did I give birth to such an idiot like you? If you reject him now, wouldn't that mean that you're guilty? This is exactly what they want. Su Xini asked in confusion, then promise her? But Mom, I don't know how to compose. Mrs. Su smiled confidently. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to compose, as long as Su Xindong knows how to. Mom will think of a way to get the manuscript for you. I'll find someone to help you edit it even better. Su Xini immediately felt that he had won. Mom, it's so good to have you around. He thickened his skin and posted another message. Su Xini v. Some things can be given up, but some things can't, such as my father and honor. Set a time and I'll accept the challenge. Chapter 758. The netizens were having a great time watching the drama unfold. An heir against an illegitimate son, there's going to be a good show. Many netizens were not afraid of blowing things up and even came up with ideas for the battle between the two. Hurry up, set a time, we'll live stream it. That's right, let's see who's the real plagiarist then. What's the point of arguing online like this? It's better to have an offline battle. No, fight, lie. No, fight, lie, dog head. Su Xini was full of confidence and felt that victory was within his grasp. Su Rendong, you've enjoyed enough applause and glory over the years. How can a shut-in be worthy of being the heir of the Su family? It's time to give it to me. Su Xini believed that since his mother could get the previous song, she would definitely be able to help him get the song this time too. Now, he just had to wait for Su Xindong to set the time. Su Xini wasn't the only one who thought so. The viewers of the live stream also thought so. After all, composing was an artistic creation that required a process and couldn't be accomplished overnight. In the next second, Su Xindong, who had learned the ins and outs of the matter through Zhou Yan's phone, said in a low voice, "Let's begin then." Everyone was dumbfounded. Begin what? Xiangyi asked thoughtfully, "Do you want to compose now?" Su Xindong expressed assent and sat down in front of the piano. He turned to look at Xiangyi and said, "Miss Xiang, can I trouble you to set a theme for me? Just a word or two will do." Xiangyi thought for a while and said, "How about love?" Su Xindong's style in the past was lyrical and the theme of love was very suitable for him. Okay. Su Xindong closed his eyes and began to compose. The viewers of the live stream were all confused. What's going on? Composing on the spot? How is that possible? Where does Su Xindong get his confidence from? How can he compose on a whim? I'm dying of laughter. I'm waiting for Su Shindong to fail. My melon seeds and chestnuts are ready. Most of the comments section was filled with ridicule. There were also some loyal fans of Su Shindong who were trying their best to defend him. Unfortunately, the results were minimal. However, when Su Rindong opened his eyes and placed his fingers on the piano, the room suddenly fell into silence. Even the comments in the live broadcast room seemed to have been cleared. The soothing and melodious prelude started the melody of a love song. From the careful probing, to the passion when the love was strong, and then to the loneliness after the sad breakup. Whether it was the melody or the artistic conception, it was impeccable. After listening to a short section, Xiangyi was certain that the song was indeed composed by Su Shindong. He had long since formed a unique style. Others could only imitate his appearance, but not his soul. The audience gradually came back to their senses. This song is kind of nice. Was it really Su Rindong's original work? He's too talented. I can't believe it. I actually cried when I heard it. Is there anyone who can fill in the words? If this song doesn't become popular, the heavens will not tolerate it. His slender fingers slid across the black and white keys, ending the song perfectly. Xiangyi and the others applauded. Zhou Yan clapped the most forcefully and his hands were almost red from clapping. Good, very good. Su Shindong, praise to you. Su Shindong is the eternal God. Su Shindong smiled shyly, but his eyes were bright. Miss Xiang, it's time for the second question. Xiangyi was stunned. Huh. Chapter 759. Isn't it supposed to be a competition? Su Rindong asked in confusion. How are we going to determine the winner? Rock, paper, scissors, and the winner has to win 2 out of 3 games. Hearing this, Xiangyi burst into a gentle smile, and shallow dimples appeared on her cheeks. As for the second question, how about missing? Su Rindong agreed. Sure. Zhou Yan's eyes widened. Are you out of your mind? That song just now is enough to prove your ability. Why are you still? Shi Sui patted him on the shoulder and asked, Do you trust him? Of course I do, he's Su Rindong. The young best actor smirked and said, Then let's trust his choice and see what surprises he will bring us. This chicken soup for the soul was unexpectedly effective on Zhou Yan. He pursed his lips and his tense body gradually relaxed. No one knew better than him how talented Su Rindong was. Yeah, I just have to trust him. How can the light of a firefly compete with the brilliance of the moon? Su Rindong was like a heartless composing machine. He repeatedly closed his eyes and composed the second song, Longing, with a high standard and a high degree of completion. He didn't need to modify his composition at all. He could go to the recording studio and record the demo himself. The audience in the live stream was dumbfounded. Su Xini, who received the news, was even more dumbfounded. Why is Su Rindong so unpredictable? Come on, this is composing. Do you think you're eating buns? Apart from being surprised, he was also flustered. If Su Rindong is composing on the spot, what should I do? In the past, his mother would arrange for a part-time worker to steal Su Rindong's manuscripts and he would publish them directly or find someone to modify them slightly. However, this time, he couldn't steal Su Rindong's manuscripts. What could he use to compete with Su Rindong? Boundless fear instantly drowned him. At the same time, Su Rindong took a short break and said, The third question. Xiangyi pondered for a moment and said, For the sake of fairness, why don't we change the topic? Su Rindong seemed to be in a dilemma. Some of the audience noticed his expression and began to speculate. Is Xiangyi a fake? Is she cooperating with Su Rindong's performance? Could these questions have been set long ago? What's the difference between this and cheating on exams and taking notes? If that's the case, it's unfair to Su Xini. Isn't this clearly bullying? The son of a mistress is still so arrogant. I'm so angry. I'm sorry, Xiangyi said apologetically. I forgot that you don't want to interact with other people. Su Rindong shook his head. It doesn't matter. I can try harder. However, as someone with social phobia, other than Zhou Yan, Shi Sui, and Xiangyi whom he was familiar with, he could not even look at the other staff members. Li Jinyu had a flash of inspiration. Why don't we draw the questions in the live stream? So that everyone won't say that you're cheating. Also, you can just use your phone to draw. You don't have to communicate with others. Su Rendong agreed. She had a better impression of the entire cast of Two Under One Roof. In the past, whenever he was forced to participate in activities, the staff would advise him, "Teacher Su, you have to pull yourself together and face everything. How can you have social anxiety? It's just that your ability to communicate with people has deteriorated after staying at home for too long. Can't you just talk to people more?" However, everyone in Two Under One Roof would think from his point of view. It was really heartwarming. "Thank you, everyone. I'm going to draw," Su Rendong said softly. Chapter 760. It was rare for the live stream of Two Under One Roof to have an interactive function. Many people said that they hated Su Xuandong, but they couldn't help but click on the question. Su Xuandong's beautiful and fair fingertips tapped on the screen and the question was fixed on one sentence. Eating hot pot with friends at home in the winter. Sugar oranges are being roasted on the heater next to you. Ginger cola is boiling in the pot. Everyone was stunned. What kind of question is this? The previous two questions that Jianghu came up with were more abstract, and there was more room for free expression. However, this question was too specific. Instead, it made people scratch their heads. How do you express hot pot with music? How do you express roasted oranges with music? Not to mention ginger cola. You're making things difficult for me. Li Jinyu said shamelessly, "Haha, this time doesn't count. Let's do it again." He couldn't say that to the guests for fear of being scolded. He didn't care. Let them scold him. He was thick-skinned anyway. Although Su Xuandong was an otaku, he wasn't completely ignorant of the ways of the world. Seeing that Li Jinyu was trying to help him out, he cast a grateful look at him and said, "It's okay, let's do this." Huh! Before Li Jinyu could react, Su Xuandong's fingers had already slowly plucked a chord on the piano keys. He closed his eyes and began to play blindly. It wasn't difficult to play blindly, but it was much more difficult to compose a tune while playing blindly. The viewers in the live stream who knew music were instantly shocked. "He's too good. I'm so angry that I want to kick my brother who's been learning the piano for 2 years." To be honest, Su Xuandong's basic skills are really impressive. His fingering, strength, and emotions are all textbook examples. Oh my God, can this question be expressed this way? I don't know how to describe it, but I just feel that this song is so heartwarming. The music flowed like clouds and flowing water. Languages had national boundaries, but to a certain extent, music was universal to humans. Everyone enjoyed the song as if they were intoxicated. Unconsciously, they closed their eyes like Su Rendong. Xiangyi leaned on Shi Sui's shoulder and whispered, "I really want to play this song in winter." "Definitely." Shi Sui hugged her. Zhou Yan, who was next to him, suddenly felt that he was like a light bulb. He cleared his throat and leaned his body to the right out of habit. He listened carefully to Su Rendong's song. He was still as powerful as ever. That night, the live stream of Two Under One Roof went viral again. Well-known composer Su Rendong composed 16 songs on the spot. Their styles included lyrical, pop, hot-blooded, fairy tale, folk, rock, sci-fi. Every song could be said to be the sound of nature. Every song was enough to be passed down as a classic. Countless people had witnessed his creative talent. Countless people gasped in admiration at his amazing talent. "I'm kneeling to the big boss." Oh, improvisation on the spot? This is a level I won't be able to reach even if I study for another 10 years. Wow, every song sounds so good. I think it's enough to release an album. Zhou Yan's singing will definitely be very suitable. Su Rendong stood up with the help of the piano, but his body swayed because he was too tired. Hey. Zhou Yan hurriedly supported him. Thinking of Su Rendong's misophobia, he pursed his lips and was about to let go when he felt a small force tugging at his sleeve. Su Rendong looked at him and said innocently, "My legs are weak." Shi Sui sensed something and glanced sideways, only to see that Xiang Yi's eyes were glowing, as if she had knocked on something. Chapter 761. He coughed softly. The girl immediately came back to her senses and patted her little face. returning to her usual calm and composed self. Little did she know that the fleeting moment had already been captured and recorded by the audience. Sister E is kowtowing to others while I'm kowtowing to Sister E. We're both kowtowing scholars. E is so cute, I want to F***ck her. Aren't Su Rendong and Zhou Yan at odds? Why do the two of them look so compatible? Zhou Yan's heartbeat sped up and his ears inevitably began to heat up. After Su Rendong steadied himself, he said fiercely, "What are you showing off for? Why did you compose so many songs in one go? Aren't you afraid of overworking yourself? I think 996 is a blessing for you. It's the speed of a turtle." Su Rendong retracted his hand and resisted the urge to wipe it with a disinfectant wipe. Overcoming his body's instincts was not an easy task. That alone was enough to make Su Rendong's face turn pale. "Hey, are you okay?" Zhou Yan asked with a frown. "I'm fine." Su Rendong looked at the camera and subconsciously tried to avoid it. After taking a few deep breaths, he calmed down and said, "I'm fine, Su Exe." Explain what? Xiangyi reminded, "Su Sini." Su Rendong first thanked her softly before continuing, "Didn't you say you were going to accept the challenge? You may begin then." Wow, is this a declaration of war? It turns out that otakus have a temper too. The audience in the live stream got excited and began to pay attention to the other party. However, after waiting for a long time, Su Sini did not respond. What? Why is Su Sini pretending to be dead? Su Sini, don't be a coward. You're already done. Could it be that he's guilty? Su Sini is the one who's acting like a thief. On the other hand, Su Sini was so anxious that he was pacing back and forth. What should I do? What should I do? As soon as his phone rang, Su Sini immediately picked it up. Have you thought of a countermeasure? Drag it out if you can. Even if you can't. At the very least, you can't lose to him when the attention is at its peak. Mom, that otaku Su Sini is just trying to ruin me. He even pretended not to know me. Does he even put me in his eyes? His mother was silent for more than 10 seconds before she gritted her teeth and said, "Your IQ is really hopeless." Su Sini was not convinced. It's obviously Su Shindong who is scheming. "All right, do as I say. I'll think of a way to get a few songs for you. When the time comes, you can memorize the score and open a live broadcast. Those idiots on the internet will definitely believe it." After exhorting him for a while, the call ended. Su Sini didn't notice that his phone was recording calls. He wrote a procrastination Weibo post. After looking at it, he felt that it would only be embarrassing if he posted it. Who knows how the netizens will laugh at him? It would be better to play the blame game and turn black and white upside down. Su Sini's eyes lit up. He deleted the previous text and began his Lotus Words and Lotus Words composition. Just as the netizens were about to disperse, Su Sini finally posted another post. Su Sini V. What's yours will always be yours. What's not yours will never be yours. No matter how much they slander me, I'm still me. My father is still my father. The song is still my song. Brother, when will you understand this truth? Will that day come? Or maybe it will never come. He opened the audio file and wanted to add a so-called original song, but he accidentally selected the call record with his mother. Chapter 762. The Weibo post was posted just like that. Su Sini didn't realize that something was wrong. He threw away his phone and hummed a song before opening a bottle of red wine. He poured the wine into the decanter, feeling good and elegant. Well, let's see what the netizens have commented. Su Sini took out his phone, only to find that there were dozens of missed calls. His mother had called him the most, as well as a few close friends. Even his father, who he rarely contacted, had called him twice. Su Sini's eyebrows twitched violently as he instantly panicked. His mother's call popped up on the screen again. Su Sini's hand trembled as he pressed the answer button. Delete your Weibo post. Hurry up and delete your Weibo post. The woman on the other end of the phone was so angry that she almost vomited blood. She had worked hard to compete with number 4 and number 5 for so many years and finally won the championship. In the end, her years of hard work were ruined by her son. Su Sini logged onto Weibo, only to find that he had mistakenly selected the wrong audio file. The song that he was going to post was instead a call record with his mother. I'll help you think of a way to get a few songs. When the time comes, you can memorize the score and post it on the livestream. Those idiots on the internet will definitely believe it. Su Xindong's vision turned black as he knocked over the decanter, causing the fine red wine to splash onto the carpet, creating a mess. He trembled as he clicked on the delete option, but it was too late. In the living room, Surfer Zhou Yan not only saw Su Sini's Weibo post, but he also quickly downloaded the audio file. He played the audio file in front of everyone in the live stream. Tens of millions of viewers in the live stream of Two Under One Roof all heard the conversation between Su Sini and his mother. Is this the legendary, I beat myself? Honestly, Su Xindong's mother's IQ is high, but Su Xindong's brain is not good enough. He's dragging her down. Think of a way to get a few songs? Judging from his proficient tone, it's probably not the first time he's done this. So, Su Xindong's so-called original work was probably fake. Su Xindong's 16 songs in a row was a true slap in the face, followed by Su Sini's self-destruction on the spot. The netizens wondered what kind of behavior was this? It was obviously, the gift was light but the thought was heavy. As a result, Su Rendong was innocent. It was obvious at a glance who was the son of the mistress. This little brother of yours only cares about the White Lotus attribute. You don't even know how to add some points to your intelligence. You need to add some points to balance it out. Zhou Yan laughed until his stomach hurt. Su Rendong was still at a loss. He rarely contacted Papa Su, and had no idea that he had a younger brother. To him, Su Sini was nothing more than a stranger that had appeared today. However, when he saw Zhou Yan smiling so happily, he pursed his thin lips and the curve of his smile rose. Thus, Shi Sui found that her little rabbit had started to knock again. The little girl looked calm on the surface, but she excitedly fluttered a few times and whispered in his ear, "So this is what it feels like to be a couple. It's so happy." Shi Sui nodded. "Yes." Xiangyi smiled. "Are you going to kiss them too?" "I'll knock myself." Shi Sui calmly took out his cell phone and showed Xiangyi his level in the #untimely #CP chat. It was actually max level. Xiangyi was speechless. She had lost. Chapter 763. Xiangyi took out her Weibo account and looked at it, only to see that it was a pitiful level 2. Her manager, Nan, often sent her something that she liked. When she saw it, she clicked on it and signed in. The girl's fighting spirit was inexplicably ignited. Her milky white face tensed up, as if they were two prodigies competing with each other in their school days. "I'll level up now." The little girl was as fierce as a tiger, but she was confused when she saw the mission. "It's too difficult, too difficult. The scholars are working too hard every day." She felt that these missions were more difficult than transmigrating. Shi Sui naturally put her arm around her shoulders and touched the screen with her slender fingers as she began to teach her little bunny how to operate the system. Liking, reposting, and commenting is a must every day. It's also very important to counter haters. When you post on Weibo, it's best if the content is original. That way, the weight will be higher. Xiangyi was thirsty for knowledge and nodded repeatedly, wishing she could take notes on the spot with a sticky note software. The viewers in the live stream were confused. Is Shi Yingdi teaching Sister E how to surf the rankings? Shocking. I'm rooting for the CP, but they're rooting for themselves too. Shi Yingdi and Sister E are already working so hard. As fans of the untimely couple, what right do we have to not work hard? Sisters, if you don't vote, I won't vote. When will Shi E succeed? If you don't do it, Shi E will be beaten down. Under Shi Sui's guidance, Xiangyi finally completed the mission. She went through the process in her mind and said seriously, "Okay, I got it. We'll continue tomorrow." Shi Sui responded and skillfully switched to his alternate account to begin the second round, a series of posts on the leaderboard. "Xiangyi?" The little girl was shocked and her doe eyes widened. "One account isn't enough?" The sister fans and mommy fans in the live stream were overwhelmed by her cuteness. Our tutu is the cutest, she won't accept any rebuttals. Xiangyi is so cute. Hurry up and accept the endorsement deal. Hurry up and release the product. Mommy is going to spend money on you. Sister E obviously hasn't chased celebrities before. How can one account be enough? But what's wrong with Best Actor? Sure. He's a little too skilled. Xiangyi had no idea that her actions had caused such a huge reaction. The fans of the untimely couple seemed to have been injected with adrenaline as they crazily rushed up the rankings. Due to the fact that the fans of the two were more relaxed, they were usually in the top 5. But today, everyone was serious and rushed up to the 3rd place in minutes. Zhou Yan joined in the fun and used his main account to help the two of them hit the leaderboard. For a moment, his fans did not care about their own superfans and came over to help. In addition, there were also many insiders who personally went down to help the two of them rank. For example, Yan Nai and director Yan, the brothers from C7, the model couple Mama In and Papa Sheng in the circle, the idiotic Fujian in the emoji world, and so on. Xiangyi and Shi Sui's connections in the circle were obvious. Not only were the netizens enthusiastic, but even the staff of Two Under One Roof joined in. At first, everyone had been sneaking around in fear of being scolded by Li Jianyu. Who would have thought the one at the top was him? Brothers and sisters, let's charge together. Everyone. The director took the lead to slack off. When the person in charge of Weibo saw the daily active traffic today, he couldn't stop smiling. The two of them were already in the S-list when they were alone, but together, they were super. No one could stop them. In just half an hour, the untimely couple successfully reached the top of the list. It was terrifying. Chapter 764. Originally, the first place on the Weibo list was a very popular couple, #MorningstarFall#. Han Chen and Luo Chuan had worked together on a romance drama, Sweet Biscuit, which had a wonderful plot and a sweet interaction. Recently, they had also participated in a variety show together. Hence, the couple's fans were at their wits' end. Seeing that their number 1 spot on the Weibo list had been snatched away, Morningstarfall's fans were indignant and began to call for a fight. However, the number of fans of the two was completely incomparable to that of Shi Sui and Xiangyi. Usually, the untimely couple's fans wouldn't fight for it, but today, they were on a completely different level. Han Chen's and Luo Chuan's management companies had communicated with each other and felt that it was a good time to expose themselves. Whether the two could make it out of the entertainment circle depended on this move. The two companies secretly hired fake reviewers and even paid some protection fees to the public relations department of Weibo. Not long after, #MorningstarFall# surpassed #untimelycouple in the Weibo rankings. Morningstarfall's fans who didn't know the truth thought that it was real data. They immediately felt elated and ran to #untimelycouple to show off. Oh, there's nothing we can do about it. Morningstarfall is really popular. My throat is so dry that it's about to smoke. When I saw the untimely couple, I was no longer thirsty because it's so hot. Celebrities' stats are so fake these days. Shi Sui and Xiangyi's stats must be fake too. I now feel that the number of online viewers of Two Under One Roof might be exaggerated too. After all, the boss of Xingchen Live is Xiangyi's uncle. Their family after all. Can't they take care of each other more? In the living room, Zhou Yan was confused. Are these two very popular? Why did their stats go up all of a sudden? Xiangyi and Shi Sui didn't have much of a reaction to the rankings. Shi Sui said, "Let nature take its course. It's good enough to be in the top 3. Xiangyi put away her phone and asked, "What do you want to eat for dinner?" Zhou Yan said, "No. Shi Sui's sister E must be number 1. Su Rendong adjusted his glasses. He was introverted and not good with words, but at this moment, he also clenched his fists, indicating that he supported Zhou Yan. As for Li Jianyu and the others, he had already gone crazy. "Sister, I can't give up so easily." He had to continue fighting. Heads can be chopped off, blood can flow, but we can't lose in the rankings. Photographer Old Zhang, yes. We must win. Old Lu, the lighting engineer, said, "I'm going to make this list today. Even Jesus can't stop me." The others were also shouting slogans such as "Victory" and "Fight." They were full of fighting spirit. It was like a scene from a hot-blooded movie. "Xiangyi, there's no need for that." The young girl cast a pleading look at Wan Qing, hoping that she could persuade Li Jianyu. Who would have thought that this bright and successful career woman would also be unable to escape the true fragrance law at this time? Her phone, tablet, and laptop were all used together, all for the sake of ranking. "Sister E, don't worry. Today, I will definitely get first place for you." Xiangyi, in the live broadcast room, the comments were unusually harmonious. The audience was united against a common enemy. No matter how much they argued, the couple that I'm rooting for must be number one. "I'm rushing, I've already started on the 4th task." Haha, my mom and aunt asked me in the family group chat what the top topic is. They want to support Sister E. I'm willing to not drink milk tea, eat fried chicken, or order takeout for a month. I just want our #untimely hashtag to be number one. This scene was still playing out in many other places. The rankings of #untimely hashtag and #morningstar setting hashtag fluctuated up and down. Chapter 765. More and more people from all ages were participating in the leaderboard challenge. In a certain office building in the CBD, Jane graduated from a prestigious school and had a decent job. She had always been considered someone else's child. After dealing with today's work, she took some time out of her busy schedule to go to the pantry. She was just about to check if there were any popular food stores nearby so that she could have dinner with her best friend. Her cell phone rang. Jane picked it up and asked in a slightly surprised tone, "Mom, why are you calling me? Did something happen at home?" An embarrassed and coy voice came from the other end of the line. Daughter, are you busy at the moment? Mom, if you have something to say, just say it. Is Dad's old habit acting up again?" No, I just wanted to ask you, do you know what a competition is?" Jane was speechless. By the time she hung up, Jane's mouth was already dry. She gulped down half a glass of water, completely lacking the image of a city beauty. She then picked up her cell phone and started complaining on the Melon forum. "Help! My mom is even more obsessed with idols than I am. What should I do? I'm waiting online, it's quite urgent." At a certain farmer's market. "Today, I'm going to do a live stream of the vegetable market for everyone. As we all know, the southern market is very famous for its services. For example, when you buy chicken feet, you can cut your nails, and when you buy meat, you can buy a potato, and you can even peel it." A small-time streamer held a stand in his hand and interacted with his fans as he walked. He took everyone on a grocery shopping experience. The down-to-earth live stream made the audience feel refreshed, and the interactive data was also better than usual. Bananas can be bought piece by piece. Watermelons can be bought piece by piece. Grapefruit can be peeled into pieces. This is my first year working in the north as a southerner. This is the first time I've seen cabbage being carried in a sack. I'm so shocked. The coordinates are north. Last time I asked if I could buy a head of garlic, the boss waved his hand and told me to take it away. He said that he didn't want me to interfere with his business. Hey, why are there so many people surrounding that stall? Streamer, please go over and watch the fun. When the small-time streamer saw this comment, he smiled and said, "For a streamer like me who dotes on her fans, of course I'll satisfy all your conditions." He looked over, feeling a little puzzled for a moment. That stall was not eye-catching, but it was crowded with people at the moment. When he got closer to take a look, he heard the auntie selling vegetables yell at the top of her voice, "Now follow me and sign in at the top right corner." Little streamer? Could this be some kind of illegal activity? For example, illegal fundraising? He was ready to call the police, but when he turned his head, he saw that the uncles and aunties interface was showing #untimely super topic. Nanny? So they were trying to make a list? The streamer and his fans accepted this reality in a daze. Schools, shopping malls, parks, Weibo, WeChat, forums, China, overseas, the leaderboard event was in full swing. It was as if everyone was participating in the leaderboard event. Meanwhile, Han Chen and Luo Charen's management company were on the verge of tears. Who could tell them why the data was immediately squeezed out after they bought it? They had already raised the price many times. Seeing that they were overtaken once again, the higher-ups of both sides were dumbfounded. There was nothing left, not even a single cent left. Once they stopped buying ghostwriters, the gap between #untimely and #Morningstar instantly widened. Morningstar's fans, who were still arrogant just a moment ago, were all dumbfounded after seeing the data. Are we so lousy? Chapter 766. No, that's impossible. Morningstar Early Falls fans couldn't accept this huge difference. Some of the more extreme ones directly ran to #untimely #supertalk to make a scene. Don't you guys feel embarrassed when you're using data? Hee hee, it's really different when you have capital backing you. Is untimely entertainment very popular? Sorry, I've never heard of it. Smile, our Morningstar Rising is the hottest. If it were any other fan club, they would have already started scolding each other. Who knew what kind of bloody storm it would have turned into? However, most of the fans of the untimely couple overlapped with Spicy Tutu and Shurshui's sister, so, thus, the style became like this. Yes, 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 everything you say is right. Our data is fake. Oh, I'm sorry, but our sister E is rich and beautiful. Shui doesn't have much money either. One endorsement is only worth tens of millions. Yep, we're untimely couple from the Arctic Circle. Have some confidence. Morningstar Rising is not only the most popular in the entertainment industry, but also the most popular in the entire universe. Morningstar Early Falls fans, how should he put it? The other party clearly didn't scold him back, but how infuriating. This kind of perfunctory attitude showed that he didn't treat them as opponents at all. Instead, he coaxed her like she was a primary school student. Morningstar Chu Luo's fans flew into a rage out of humiliation. They all tagged the person in charge of Weibo, denouncing the injustice and demanding an explanation. Otherwise, they would uninstall Weibo. Usually, the person in charge of the government didn't show up much. Today, he was probably enjoying the show, so he asked the technical staff to check it out. In the end, the investigation failed. It's one thing for your Morningstar to be mixed with a little water in the data, but you guys must have mixed with the 4 oceans. To a certain extent, the officials had tacitly agreed to buy fake reviewers. However, there had to be a limit to everything. Otherwise, going too far would be as bad as not going far enough. The internet water army that Han Chen and Luo Charen had hired had seriously affected the user ecology, which was extremely unfavorable for the development of Weibo. The higher-ups held a meeting and decided to make an example out of him. Therefore, not long after, Weibo's official account made a statement. Weibo Technical Department V. After various inquiries, we have found that there are a large number of zombie fans and water army fans in the super topic #Morningstar Falls hashtag. In order to prevent such incidents from happening again, access to #Morningstar Falls hashtag will be suspended for 3 days. We welcome the masses of netizens to supervise our work. If there are similar phenomena, you can directly at us. There were also a few pictures that the technical staff had checked in the background. The wavy lines and column graphs above all directly showed the true data of #Morningstar setting hashtag. Not to mention competing with #untimely hashtag, they couldn't even enter the top 10. Once the evidence was out, no matter how much Morningstar Early Falls fans shouted, "I don't believe it, I don't believe it, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it," it was useless. On this day, countless netizens witnessed his untimely popularity. The national couple lived up to their name. No one could shake his position as the #1 superstar. Phew, first place. Li Jianyu slumped on the couch. He was as tired as a salted fish. Ruan Qing, who was beside him, flexed her wrists a few times with a smile in her eyes. The others also had gratified looks on their faces. It was as if their own children had been admitted to a prestigious university. Pride. Zhou Yan was so excited that he pulled Su Rendong to give him a high five. Su Rendong resisted the physical discomfort and raised his fair hand. Yeah, give me 5. As his movements were too violent, A small silver object fell out of his left ear and landed right in front of Xiangyi. Chapter 767. Xiangyi immediately blocked the camera, picked it up with her hand, and returned it to Zhou Yan. Zhou Yan's expression was a little helpless as he frantically put the item into his pocket. The camera didn't capture it very clearly, but the sharp-eyed audience saw it. Some of them even took screenshots and zoomed in to study it. Hey, this seems to be a hearing aid? Aren't hearing aids for old people? Zhou Yan is so young, does he really need one? It's hard to say. I heard that many singers have hearing impairments. Could Zhou Yan be the same? If he has a hearing problem, it will also affect his singing. There were many different opinions and no conclusion had been reached. Su Rendong also saw it and his expression became solemn. He frowned and stared at Zhou Yan. What is that? Zhou Yan didn't answer and simply stared at his lips in a daze, subconsciously trying to read his lips. Answer me. Su Rendong, who had always been gentle, unexpectedly lost his temper at this moment. Xiangyi spoke up at the right time. I'm going to cook some dumplings. Do you guys want to go back to your room and get some rest? She was giving the two of them a way out. However, Zhou Yan and Su Rendong didn't move. The atmosphere was so oppressive that it was almost suffocating. After more than 10 seconds, Zhou Yan said in a muffled voice, "What does it have to do with you? Haven't we broken up a long time ago?" Su Rendong's hands, which were hanging by the side of his pants, subconsciously clenched into fists. Your affairs are very important to me. Zhou Yan mocked coldly, doesn't your conscience hurt when you say that? Su Rendong's Adam's apple bobbed, and his eyelashes drooped as he trembled slightly. I'm sorry. The conversation between the two of them really made one's imagination run wild. Xiangyi and Shi Sui looked at each other. One of them had knocked. The other knew that she had knocked. The gossipy souls of the audience were instantly ignited. What kind of rotten melon is that? I'm sick of it. Love melons are the best. This conversation between the two of them is not a relationship between ex-boyfriends. I'm going to eat *T live. Oh my god, this little prank is a trending topic. Every guest that comes has such a story. Zhou Yan and Su Rendong fell into a stalemate. In order to ease the tension, Shi Sui cleared her throat and asked, Do you want dumplings with soup or without soup? Su Rendong regained his senses and looked at Zhou Yan. Zhou Yan's expression was a little blank. He had one hand in his pocket and seemed to be hesitating. Su Rendong's thin lips pursed into a straight line. He reached out his hand and slowly stretched it out. Even though his fingertips were trembling uncontrollably, he still did not back down. The distance between them was getting closer and closer. Swish, there was the sound of fingers rubbing against cloth. Zhou Yan felt that his arm was gently pulled and swayed, as if she was acting coquettishly, but also as if she was pleading. Can I have a look? He had touched him. This realization spread in Zhou Yan's heart. Instinctively, he relaxed his body. Su Rendong seized the opportunity and pulled his arm out. In the man's palm was a small and exquisite hearing aid. At first glance, it looked like an earring. Su Rendong only felt that his throat was extremely dry. He fumbled around and helped Zhou Yan put it on. Can you hear my voice now? Zhou Yan looked away and said proudly, You don't think I'm dirty now? Never. Those two words made the countless audience members in front of the screen scream. Xiangyi decisively covered her mouth and buried her head in Shi Sui's arms. The little bunny threw herself into his arms and a certain best actor had no choice but to do so. He kissed the little girl on the forehead. Anwan's words, Oh, there's an exam tomorrow morning. I'm going to do a last-minute prayer. There's still 2 hours to go. Are there any cuties taking the exam? I wish you all the best in the exam. If you really don't know how to answer, then choose C. I'm talking nonsense. Good night. Chapter 768. The dumplings are ready. The kitchen was steaming hot. Xiangyi opened the door, poked her head out, and shouted. Behind her stood Shi Sui, who was holding a plate. The two of them were wearing the same apron, and under the warm lighting in the kitchen, they looked warm and beautiful. Ever since Zhou Yan and Su Rendong decided to have a good talk, the two of them tacitly went to the kitchen to give the two of them some space. Li Jinyu originally wanted to pause the filming of the two of them, but Zhou Yan signaled that it was fine. He then used the live stream of Two Under One Roof to explain his condition to his fans. Because I've been in a high-decibel environment for a long time, my left ear has developed a hearing impairment, and my right ear has also deteriorated to a certain extent. However, I will actively cooperate with the doctor's treatment and recover as soon as possible. Even though he could barely hear with one ear, it didn't seem to affect Zhou Yan's mood at all. Hearing Xiangyi's voice, he grinned brightly. I'm not going to talk to you guys anymore. I'm going to eat some dumplings. In the live stream, Zhou Yan's fans were already in tears, but when they heard this, they burst into laughter. God, please be nicer to our Yan Bao. Oh my God, nothing can stop you, huh? Haha, Yan Bao, eat 2 more bowls of rice for me. Let's eat our share too. Su Rendong listened in silence the entire time. After the dumplings were served, he silently mixed a vinegar and chili oil dipping sauce for Zhou Yan. This small detail was caught by the crowd and they went into another round of awe. Zhou Yan couldn't stop after eating one as he exclaimed how fragrant it was. Compared to him, Su Rendong was much more reserved. However, from another perspective, he was a clean freak, yet he could still endure the psychological discomfort and eat Xiangyi's food. What kind of spirit is that? The netizens were craving for it, and tears flowed from the corners of their mouths. Li Jinyu suggested, why don't we do a lucky draw? After all, the live stream would end in 2 weeks, so it was reasonable to give some benefits to the audience. Sure, but what should we draw? Xiangyi asked. Li Jinyu was also in a dilemma. Ruan Qing, who was beside him, smiled and said, why don't we listen to everyone's thoughts? This suggestion made the live stream room went wild. Sister Ruan is so good, it's so nice. Does an unlucky person have a chance to enter Europe? Wishing for a piece of firewood chopped by some Mao Gu. I want a little apron made by Hades. Ha, I've long had my eyes on Dr. Xiang's pots of succulents. Is a pillow that Big Brother has leaned on okay? Sob 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 ball ball. Ahem, I'm different from you guys. I've taken a fancy to Feng Fengzi's bumper car. There were all sorts of wishes in the comments section. But the thing that was mentioned the most was without a doubt, Sister E cooked. Shi Sui brought a tablet over and read the comments with Xiangyi. Xiangyi was a little surprised. There are so many comments, it almost blocked the entire screen. Shi Sui smiled. Our Sister E is very popular. Zhou Yan and Su Rendong, who were at the side, were speechless. For some reason, they felt that the two of them were the real kings of public display of affection. Using the terminology of Xuanhuan novels, a dozong was extremely terrifying. If it's for food, it probably won't work if it's too far away. Xiangyi's words disappointed everyone, but in the next second she said, it should work if it's in Nanqing. Chapter 769. In an instant, the audience in Nanqing felt as if they were on a roller coaster as they went from the lowest point to the highest point. I'm from Nanqing, please pick me. Is it too late to move to Nanqing now? I'm really getting carried away, I'm actually searching for housing prices in Nanqing. Smile. Nanqing has always been criticized on the internet. I used to feel quite inferior, but it's different today. I feel like I can hold my head height proud. Li Jinyu and the others studied it for a moment before opening the lucky draw system. The final prize was very rich. In addition to small aprons, hair rings, and pillows, there were also various local specialties from Little Rabbit Farm, as well as chili seeds, super potato seeds, and so on. Let's draw the dumplings first. They won't taste good when they get cold. Xiangyi took out a few thermos containers and Shi Sui packed them up, filling each container with dumplings with different fillings. The audience in Nanqing rubbed their palms and stared at the screen. When the wheel of the lucky draw appeared, a pair of hands appeared in front of countless screens. Click, click, click. The results were soon out. Congratulations to the 5 lucky audience members: Famous, Winter Wintersweet, Freshwater, Matcha Star Frappuccino, and Shooting a Heartbeat Signal to the Universe, for winning Sister Yi's dumplings. We'll arrange for someone to deliver them right away. They'll be delivered in an hour to 2 hours. The staff put the thermos containers back into the incubator and drove off with the side dishes that Jianghu had prepared for everyone. The audience members who had won the lottery were overjoyed. Damn, I won. I won. I'm crying tears of joy. I didn't expect to win such a big prize in my lifetime. Reporting. Fatty Happy Water has been prepared and Sister Yi's beauty has been edited. I'm going to open the door and eat it later. I'm going to make the neighbor who always orders fried chicken and barbecue die. Those who didn't win the lottery were rolling around in the comment section. The scene was very hilarious. There were even some people who said ruthlessly, "Trash. I'm not going to watch it anymore." However, in the following lucky draw segment, another large group of people won the lottery. Coincidentally, the audience member who had said those ruthless words just now actually won 10 packets of hot pot base. Therefore, the audience member immediately changed his tune. Sister E is a very nice person, and her little tricks are also very exciting. She has enriched my mental life and brought me and my family great joy. Everyone, please join me as we continue to support the first live variety show in the country. Everyone? But where did you learn this face-changing technique? The audience member's face wasn't red and he wasn't out of breath. What made him change his mind? There was no other reason other than the fact that Jianghu had given him too much base for the hot pot. In the end, Zhou Yan and Sunendong also came and added gifts such as albums and Walkman. Tonight's lucky draw was a huge success. About an hour later, the first viewer who received Jianghu's dumplings posted his feedback on Weibo. Matcha Xingbing Lu, wow, I'm saying wow. Sister Yi's dumplings are so delicious. When it was delivered, it was still hot. When he bit into it, the gravy splashed out. The combination of shiitake mushrooms, almond mushrooms, and abalone mushrooms created a fresh and fragrant taste. The shrimp dumplings were even better. There was a big shrimp inside each dumpling. Mixed with minced meat, it was so delicious that he wanted to bite his tongue off. In the past, when I watched live broadcasts, I would think that the guests were acting, but today I found out that Sister E is the god of cookery. Fairy girl. In response, the netizens' reactions were surprisingly synchronized. I don't believe you unless you let me try it. Chapter 770. Several lucky audience members received the dumplings one after another, and 4 of them shared their joy on social media. Only one person was special. He put the dumplings up on a certain second-hand platform and set the price at 500 yuan. The netizens were in disbelief at first. No way, right? Can this be sold? It turned out that it really could be sold. Not only that, but the lucky audience member also did something else. He set up an auction mode. In less than half an hour, hundreds of people had already participated in the auction. The price also soared from the initial 500 yuan to more than 10,000 yuan. The intention of a lucky draw became a means to profit. Many netizens complained that the price of the dumplings was sky high. Everyone thought that the price would be the highest, but when they refreshed the page, the auction price actually rose to 100,000 yuan. What kind of rich and foolish tycoon is this? The audience member who had won the prize obviously didn't expect that a set of dumplings could be sold at such a high price. He didn't care who the tycoon was and quickly completed the transaction. Money would only be safe when it was in the bag. The sky-high price of the dumplings caused a chain reaction. A few audience members were tempted and began to resell the gift online before they received it from Jianghu. There were also many people who offered to buy it, but the price was far inferior to the dumplings. The audience members muttered to themselves, "The game consoles and bumper cars are clearly worth much more than the dumplings, but why can't they sell for as high a price as the dumplings? Could it be that Jianghu's food really has some special charm?" In the living room of the manor, after eating and drinking to his heart's content, Su Rendong took the initiative to clean the house. He had to admit that his professional ability and strictness in cleaning were enough to beat all the housekeeping companies in the market. The audience watched with relish, and many people with obsessive-compulsive disorder expressed great satisfaction. Zhou Yan and Jianghu began to play checkers. Within 5 minutes, he had already retracted his moves several times. It doesn't count. Let's start again. I didn't see it clearly just now. Please Brother E, give me another chance. If it was someone else, they would probably get angry, but Xiangyi was very calm. She patiently played with him. Shui was reading a book at the side. From time to time, she would feed Xiangyi water and give her a piece of fruit. The little girl's cheeks were always puffed up like a cute little hamster. After cleaning up, Su Rendong picked the cleanest chair and sat down. However, it was a little far from Zhou Yan. He coughed as if he felt that the chair was uncomfortable, so he moved a little. Just like that, he slowly approached someone. While Zhou Yan was regretting his move, Su Rendong pointed out a position for him. Play here. Zhou Yan did as he was told. Sure enough, he came back from the jaws of death. Awesome, brother. Zhou Yan grinned and raised his chin at Xiangyi. Brother E, it's not too late to beg for mercy. Xiangyi raised her eyebrows. Do you think I don't have outside help? At most, you'll ask Shi Yingdi for help. Xiangyi smiled and turned on the multi-person video chat in her family. One handsome face after another appeared on the screen. Sister, you're here. Tutu, I'm here. Little Tutu, call me brother and I'll let you win 10 consecutive games. Soon, even Xiang Yin and Madame Xiang joined in. Little bunny, don't be afraid, Grandpa will win it back for you. Zhou Yan was speechless. He suddenly felt weak, helpless, and pitiful. He shivered. Chapter 771. This scene, which had a sense of variety, had undoubtedly become a classic scene in the history of Little Break. The netizens laughed out loud. Yan Bao, it's time for you to feel Sister Yi's true strength. Zhou Yan, I just found a substitute player. Brother E, you're cheating. Sister E, you're going overboard. Others are using money to cheat, but you're cheating. Xiang family member, kind eyes, let me see who's bullying our little bunny. With the super strong support group, Xiangyi easily won 2 rounds against Zhou Yan. Zhou Yan's expression was as if he had nothing to live for throughout the entire process. Not intending to continue winning, Xiangyi slowly got up and said, Go ahead and play with Su Rendong. I'm going to video call my family. Although the Xiang family members didn't see each other often, they kept in close contact with each other. Even if they couldn't eat together, the whole family would video call each other at least once a week. Today happened to be the day that the Xiang family had agreed to video call, and Zhou Yan was considered to have hit the nail on the head. Xiangyi went to the floor-to-ceiling window, nestled on the couch, and talked to her family softly. In fact, there was nothing grand about it, and most of them were just trivial family matters. However, the audience felt the intimate connection between Xiang Yi and her family. It turns out that kinship has to be managed too. As many people watched, their giggles turned into contemplation. After everyone talked about the recent situation, Xiang Yin coughed and said, The work in the West Continent has been completed. Now that the country is prosperous and the people are safe, I can go back with peace of mind. He changed the topic and sighed, I don't know if anyone will welcome an old man like me back. Xiang Feng, who was playing a game with Shiyu, said, Father, I'll be the first to welcome you back. Xiang Yin rolled his eyes and said, I didn't ask you. Xiang Feng said, Shiyu, who was beside him, said in a muffled voice, Grandpa, I want to go home. I miss Sister Xiangyi. According to seniority, he should be addressing Xiangyi as aunt, but Shiyu couldn't change it. Let's play for a while more. Children should have a happy childhood. Shiyu pouted. I'm tired. I'm really tired. I don't want to play anymore. Grandpa Xiang Feng had been playing with him all day. Even if you want to walk a dog, you shouldn't walk it like this. Moreover, he was the one who wanted to play. Why did he have to use him as an excuse? Xiang Feng covered his mouth and said coldly, No, you want to play. At the same time, he instructed his assistant, Go and buy this gaming center. What kind of broken claw machine is this? You can't even catch a single doll after trying for so long. The assistant replied expressionlessly, Yes, Mr. Xiang. How could he be so calm? Was it because he had received professional education? Was it because he had many years of experience as a special assistant? No, it's just a habit. The video in the group was still going on. Xiangyi said softly, Grandpa, I'll wait for you to come back. The young lady's words coaxed the old man, making him feel very comfortable and happy. The silent and cold Sanction put down the file in his hand and said faintly, "Little Rabbit's birthday is coming soon." All of a sudden, the family members were discussing how to celebrate Xiangyi's birthday. Xiangyi raised her hand weakly. "There's still a week left, okay?" Sanction nodded proudly. "A week is indeed a little short." Xiangyi was speechless. Is Xiangfeng's concept of time a little different from mine? Chapter 772. Tutu, don't worry, your brothers will take care of these matters. Xiang Li's voice was gentle as he lowered his head and wrote on the memo with a pen. "I'll cancel all the research projects and academic conferences for the next half a month." Xiangyi, second brother, you don't have to. You really don't have to. That's right. 1 week is too short, we don't even have enough time to set up the venue, Xiangqi complained. Xiangyi, third brother, are you planning to build a new building? Since Xiangyi is so popular, it seems we'll have to prepare an invitation. I hope she can spend her birthday with her blessings. Xiangyu sighed. Xiangyi, fourth brother, are you guys still planning a banquet? Xiangfeng, however, looked confused. Didn't we already prepare for it long ago? We were just waiting to give little Xiangyi a surprise. All of a sudden, several sharp gazes seemed to be directed at him through the screen. Xiangyi, okay, so it's just my brothers playing me. Can't there be some trust between siblings? Xiangyi turned on the loudspeaker while the mainstream was broadcasting Shi Sui and Su Rendong playing chess. She couldn't hear it very clearly, but the audience in the other stream could. Look, there's an honest person here. No one will refute me if I say that Xiang Feng has the lowest IQ in the Xiang family, right? Little uncle must be the most naive CEO in history. He always makes me laugh. Now that the surprise plan had been exposed, her brothers didn't try to hide it. They directly said that they wanted to discuss specific matters and that Xiangyi couldn't eavesdrop. Then, they temporarily removed Xiangyi from the group chat. Xiangyi's mood was a little complicated as she stared at the prompt on the screen, speechless for a long time. The audience, she's in a daze. Who would have thought that Sister E would have such a day? Various marketing accounts accurately cut to the chase. Scene of a large group pet falling apart. Xiang family sibling relationship breakdown, tragic. Sister E has been kicked out of the family. The drafts were out. Xiangyi ended the video call with her family and returned to Shi Sui's side, only to find that he had won several rounds. Su Rendong's chess skills were not bad. Unfortunately, Zhou Yan was holding him back. With his own strength, he defeated the two of them again and again. Zhou Yan said faintly, I'm not playing anymore. You husband and wife are bullying me. The tip of Xiangyi's ear was slightly hot. She gently pinched it. Smoke was about to come out of the top of her head, but there was no rebuttal. The corners of Shi Sui's lips curled up slightly. Her eyebrows and the corners of her eyes were filled with pride. Sigh, does this show of yours like to trick the guests into eating dog food? Zhou Yan sighed and turned on his depression mode. He casually said, I have a story. Do you have wine? Li Jianyu, who was in the director's office, couldn't help but shout through the loudspeaker, no. Zhou Yan, ? Su Rendong, ? In the next second, the two of them witnessed the change in Xiangyi. The young girl's deer-like eyes were astonishingly bright. She was no longer calm and composed. Instead, she became passionate and enthusiastic. Red wine, beer, white wine, sake, fruit wine, rice wine, and medicinal wine. What kind do you want? Half an hour later, Zhou Yan finally crawled out of the manor's wine cellar, panting heavily with 2 jars of fruit wine in his hands. Xiangyi, who was behind him, also had 2 jars in her hands. She asked, Are 4 jars enough? Yes, it's enough. The little drunkard, Xiangyi, said in a regretful tone. Okay, if it's not enough, you must tell me. Zhou Yan asked, Brother E, you drank so much. Aren't you afraid that your family will nag at you? Xiangyi said, They usually say, that's all there is to it. Are you rearing fish? Zhou Yan said, Okay, sorry to disturb you. Chapter 773. In the living room. On the coffee table were shredded squid, mustard octopus, crispy peanuts, and a few other side dishes. The electric grill next to it was sizzling meat. It was supper time. Come. Cheers. Zhou Yan greeted. The 4 cups made a crisp sound when they collided. Xiangyi held the cup and gulped down a glass of wine. Her clear doe eyes were sparkling, and her drunkard's attributes were unmistakably revealed. Zhou Yan was shocked. When he said cheers, it was just a clink. He didn't really drink in one gulp. Sister E, with the way you drink, it would be strange if you didn't get drunk. However, he was the first to get drunk. By the time he drank the second jar of wine, Zhou Yan was already in a daze. The world in front of him was a blur. Everything he saw was blurry. His head was getting dizzier and dizzier. He felt like the whole world was spinning. Uncontrollably, he fell onto a shoulder that wasn't very broad. Like a tired bird returning to its nest or a whale returning to the sea, he felt inexplicably at ease. Su Rendong pushed his glasses up in a panic. Hey! Alcohol bolstered one's courage, which was vividly reflected in Zhou Yan. He roared, Hey what? You're drunk. I'll send you back to your room to sleep. I'm not drunk. Zhou Yan slapped his thigh. We've already broken up. It's none of your business. Oh, they broke up? Wait, they broke up? Xiangyi's eyes widened. She stopped drinking. The live stream viewers had the same reaction as her. They were stunned on the spot. The 2 people who were rumored to be at odds were actually ex-lovers. Su Rendong clenched his fists. His black-rimmed glasses covered his eyes, making it impossible to see the emotions in his eyes. After a long time, he softly spat out 3 words. I'm sorry. Zhou Yan's eyes reddened. He muttered, Why should I break up just because you say so? Why should I forgive you just because you say sorry? You don't deserve it. Although he spoke firmly, Zhou Yan, who was known as a legendary singer in the circle, rubbed Su Rendong's shoulder childishly. He seemed to be acting spoiled. You even left without saying goodbye. Do you know how sad I was? She's already gone. What's the point of leaving so many songs behind? Who wants to sing the songs you wrote? Let me tell you, it's not like no one wants me. There are many people who like me. Xiangyi asked curiously, Is there some misunderstanding between the 2 of you? Su Rendong smiled bitterly. Not really. It's just that we were too young back then. Perhaps it was because the wine was too intoxicating, or perhaps it was because this night was too suitable for talking, but Su Rendong began to tell the story of him and Zhou Yan. From knowing each other to confirming their relationship, it only took a week. But gradually, more and more conflicts arose. The 2 of them were equally arrogant, equally young and frivolous. They had each other in their hearts, but their eyes could not tolerate any sand. Their mouths were always hung with the most hurtful words. At first, he was high-spirited, but later on, he gradually drifted away. What crushed the 2 of them was that Su Rendong's psychological problems were becoming more and more serious. He could no longer tolerate the most ordinary hand-holding and hugging. Perhaps, we are destined not to be together. Su Rendong's heart ached. He took off his glasses and rubbed his eyes. The audience also wanted to cry when they heard this. In the silence, Xiangyi slammed the table. The little girl's drunk voice was soft and soft. You wait. I'll find you the best psychiatrist right now. The couple I'm going to marry must be sweet. A sudden hiccup caused everything to stop abruptly. Xiangyi's ears turned crimson. She buried herself in Shui's arms. Her slender shoulders trembled with shyness. Chapter 774. Shui's gaze was gentle as she gently patted the girl's back. Untimely candy was spammed crazily in the livestream. Are you okay? The man's deep voice rang in her ear. Yes. Xiangyi's fingertips curled up slightly. She looked up and blinked her beautiful doe eyes. They were like moonlight with a layer of mist, hazy and rippling. It tugged at one's heartstrings. The girl straightened her back. Her swan-like neck was slender and fair, as if the person who burped just now wasn't her at all. She took out her phone and contacted a doctor she knew in Shizhou. Through this network, Xiangyi managed to get in touch with his doctored instructor, and then she managed to get in touch with a super good psychiatrist. Not long after, The girl hung up the phone and made an okay gesture to Su Rendong. I've made an appointment. You can go to this address when the time comes. Su Rendong's eyebrows twitched when he saw the famous psychology studio. This was the doctor he had failed to make an appointment with for a long time. Xiangyi actually settled it with just a few words? He felt a little conflicted for a moment. There were thousands of words in his mind, but in the end, he only said one sentence. Sister Yi, thank you. Xiangyi drank a few more mouthfuls of wine. Her barely focused rationality gradually dissipated. She smiled at Su Rendong. I want it to be sweet all the time. As she smiled, the girl lost her balance and fell to the side. Shi Sui had already predicted this. She held her firmly and whispered softly, be good. Don't drink anymore, okay? Xiangyi refused decisively. She said fiercely, I want to drink. Zhou Yan blindly shouted, I want to drink too. Then, Su Rendong pressed him back to the table and let him continue sleeping. Shi Sui said helplessly, you'll get drunk if you drink any more. I won't get drunk. The girl mumbled. Where's my wine? Where's my wine? She rubbed her small hands on the table and picked up the glass to drink. After gulping down half the glass, Xiangyi's eyes lit up. It's so delicious. This is the real happy water. Shi Sui said with a faint smile, Sister Yi, you're using my cup and drinking my wine. Xiangyi's brain went blank for a moment. Huh. In the live stream, the audience was going crazy. Indirect kiss. Kill me. Such a cute Sister Yi, Shuringdi, how can you resist? Sure. Haha, no wonder Director Li was so mad. The drunk Sister Yi is so different from her usual calm self. She's so soft I want to bully her. Xiangyi's slow brain couldn't figure out the logic for a long time. Instead, she finished the wine in the cup. Pour the wine. She ordered Shi Sui drunkenly. Shi Sui slowly poured her a glass of juice. Want it? If you want it, call me Big Brother. Su Rendong? ? Is there such a thing? At this moment, he still didn't know that Shi Sui and the word dog could be equated in a sense. Xiangyi suddenly hugged his neck and a look of astonishment flashed across his peach blossom-shaped eyes. He heard the girl call out sweetly. Hubby. The living room suddenly fell silent. Shi Sui's eyes were soaked in the night. He fed Xiangyi juice with one hand and placed the other on the back of the girl's neck, gently rubbing it as if he was petting a cat. Xiangyi's cherry lips were stained with a moist luster and she couldn't tell the difference between fruit juice and wine. She tilted her head and asked, Why aren't you saying anything? Shi Sui chuckled. I'm afraid it's not suitable for children. After all, our sister Yi is still a child. Chapter 775. Kid? Not suitable for children? What do these mean? Xiangyi's expression was serious as she fell into deep thought. On the other hand, Su Rendong's expression had a variety of expressions. From shocked otaku. Jidu, hello everyone, I'm Lemon Essence. To, I wish you two a blissful marriage. Give birth to a child soon and never be separated for 3 lifetimes. Okay, send me to the bridal chamber. Give me a quick gif. In the live stream, the untimely couple fans covered their mouths and cried tears of love for the two of them. Say it. Say it. I'm an adult, I can listen. Do you think I lack this amount of traffic? Shuringdi, please. Are you there? Let's discuss it. Can I become a member and watch the whole thing? Unfortunately, Shi Sui had no intention of continuing to tease Xiangyi. He was completely gentlemanly and pure. I'll get Sister Ruan to send you back to rest, okay? Even his question was gentle and elegant, as if he was bathing in a spring breeze. The screen was filled with the words, Sure Indi can't do it, which dominated the live comments section again. Xiangyi shook her head and hugged Shi Sui tightly. I want to be with my hubby. A certain Shi Indi gulped. Li Jianyu, who was in the director's office, was already grinning from ear to ear. He was grinning from ear to ear. No one would be able to resist this. Sure enough, Shi Sui pinched the girl's cheeks gently. Shall I send you home? Xiangyi said in a sweet voice, Okay. Shi Sui and Su Rendong greeted each other before picking Xiangyi up in a princess carry. There was a trace of envy in Su Rendong's eyes. The tall and slender man carried the delicate and soft bunny into the room. The traffic in the live stream had exploded. The average number of online viewers of Two Under One Roof was more than 10 million, and it could soar to 20 million on weekends and holidays. However, today, it had soared to 30 million. Following the popularity of the show, it could be said that the entire nation was watching the show. It was a true national romance series. He did it, he actually did it. I've locked this door and I've swallowed the key. The two of you are not allowed to come out for 3 days and 3 nights. Dog, you're not allowed to lay a hand on our EZ. Xiangyi is still a child, isn't she? In the director's office. At first, Li Jinyu was still grinning from ear to ear, but as he smiled, his mouth shrank, and he began to feel sad again. Sob, what's going on? Seeing that their relationship is warming up, I'm gratified, but I also have the worry of an old father. Marrying off his daughter is just like this. Ruan Qing. I couldn't tell that you were a fan of Daddy. The more Li Jinyu thought about it, the sadder he felt. He leaned on her shoulder and sobbed, "What are we going to do when we have a daughter in the future? Every time I think about her being taken away by another man, especially a bastard like Shi Sui, I'm so angry." Ruan Qing was speechless. She wanted to push him away, but when she saw him crying so sadly, she retracted her hand. Since Shi Sui's sister Yi is so sweet, I'll let him lean on me for a while. Just this once. There won't be a next time. She was serious. In the room, the moonlight was like water, sprinkling a clear glow on the ground. Whoosh, Shi Sui drew the curtains, his fair fingers well-defined. He turned to look at Xiangyi. Xiangyi was lying on the bed and kissing Xiao Naofu, who had just woken up. Xiao Naofu was still in a daze. Meow. Suddenly meeting the murderous gaze of a cat, a tiger, the kitten was so frightened that its ears trembled and it buried its head in Xiangyi's soft arms. Chapter 776. Meow meow meow. Stupid woman, save me. Xiao Naofu's frantic cries were a clear indication of its fear. Who knows if this dog of a man will cook a pot of cat meat, tiger meat hot pot while this stupid woman is drunk. Xiangyi was snuggled by the warm kitten and moaned twice. Her voice was soft and soft. All of you, stop it, it's ticklish. Xiao Naofu felt that the murderous aura in her eyes had become sharper. Shi Sui approached and coaxed Xiangyi softly, making her let go of her hand. He then grabbed the kitten by the back of its neck with his large palm. Meow. Xiao Naofu meowed pitifully and cowardly. It usually dared to be arrogant because it had Xiangyi's support. Now it really knew how to crawl. Shi Sui stroked its snow-white tail, which was fluffy and nice to the touch. Seemingly unintentionally, he said, "I heard that there's a pet shop recently that's offering a buy one get one free neuter. Why don't you take little Shiji there?" He paused and smiled without saying anything. Xiao Naofu was speechless. The chubby kitten's fur stood on end as it tucked its tail between its legs to cover its private parts. This dog of a man is indeed a good dog. Buy one get one free, this isn't a hint, it's a clear indication. Atrocious. Does he think I'll give in just like that? Xiao Naofu's icy blue eyes were filled with tears as it revealed an expression of unwillingness to give in. In the next second, it frantically gave Shi Sui a New Year's greeting and called out in a flattering manner. Meow meow, Happy New Year. Give me the red packet. Don't ask me why a proud tiger like me knows how to do this. It's all because that stupid dog little Shiji couldn't learn it after a long time. I can learn it easily. Naofu is so obedient. Shi Sui looked at it affectionately. Go play somewhere else. Xiao Naofu felt as if it had been granted amnesty as it scurried to its cat bed and squeezed in with its butt sticking out. After dealing with the stupid cat, Shi Sui looked at Xiangyi again. The young girl was drunk and her eyelashes were half closed. She was very obedient. The small floral pillow was fluffy and soft, with a small depression in the middle and a few strands of cat fur sticking to it. Obviously, this was where Xiao Naofu usually slept. In Sister Yi's eyes, I can't even compare to a cat? Shi Sui sighed. Even a cat can sleep so close to Sister Yi. Xiangyi didn't know if she understood or not. After a moment of confusion, she patted the pillow next to her and said, "Go to sleep, go to sleep." The innocent little rabbit invited the big bad wolf to sleep in the same bed. She was truly naive and innocent, causing people to sink into oblivion. In the cat bed, Xiao Naofu's eyes widened. That was its exclusive pillow. How could a stupid woman let a dog man sleep with her? Sob, sob, sob. This hoe really wasn't that stupid woman's favorite. Women were indeed creatures who forgot about tigers once they had men. Just when Xiao Naofu thought that Shi Sui would lie down, the man casually tossed the pillow far away. The man lowered his voice and half coaxed, "Xiao Naofu slept with that pillow, what should I do?" "Xiao Naofu. You her, you dog-aw." Under the dim orange night light, two shadows were reflected, ambiguous and seductive. Xiangyi tried hard to keep her eyes open, but all she could see was a pillow. Perhaps it was drunken talk, or perhaps it was the deepest thought in her heart. The young girl's round doe eyes were moist, and her voice was warm and soft, like a red thread winding around the tip of one's heart. Then sleep with me on the same pillow. Chapter 777. The sound of her heartbeat was particularly obvious in the silent night. Shi Sui, who had successfully tricked the little rabbit, lay down on his side. The two of them faced each other and looked into each other's eyes. Xiangyi yawned and tears filled her eyes. "Are you sleepy?" Shi Sui asked. "Yes, go to sleep, Tutu." Shi Sui's plan was to wait for the little girl to fall asleep before leaving, but unexpectedly, the young girl actually rolled half a circle into his arms and hugged his waist. She buried her face in his neck and rubbed against it a few times. Her warm and moist breath gently wrapped around his collarbone and exploded at his nerve endings. This was his little rabbit. Shi Sui's breathing was slightly heavy. The strong and paranoid possessiveness was about to explode, but he suppressed it very well. His eyes were astonishingly dark. His Adam's apple moved and he said hoarsely, "Tutu, I should go." Xiangyi responded vaguely and hugged him even tighter, not allowing him to retreat. "Don't go," she said coquettishly. "I want to hug my husband to sleep." Boom, a certain string snapped. What followed was a quiet room. The soft sounds and sobbing protests were amplified little by little. Xiangyi slept very soundly. At 7 o'clock in the morning, her biological clock kicked in on time. Just as she was about to open her eyes, she felt a cry in her sea of consciousness. "Ishan, this is bad. This is bad." Focusing on her sea of consciousness, Xiangyi saw a personified black cat. It was her little system, or rather, Lingye's system. Probably because of Xiao Naofu's influence, the little system also gave itself the appearance of a cat in her sea of consciousness. Ever since she found out that the so-called system was set up by Lingyi to stay in this world, Xiangyi hadn't contacted it for a long time. "What's wrong?" She raised her hand and gently stroked the black cat. The power of habit was indeed terrifying. The black cat cried and wailed, "Lingyi, he's been discovered by the main system." Xiangyi frowned. "What happened?" "This, I can't tell you this." The black cat guiltily avoided her gaze. "Lingyi didn't want me to tell you. Is he okay now? Is there anything I can do?" After all, she had fought alongside Lingyi a few times when she was about to transmigrate to another world. Xiangyi couldn't just watch him get killed without doing anything. If she could help, she wanted to help as much as she could. Sob, sob, sob. Ishan is really good. Lingyi founded the Freedom Alliance. He wanted to establish a new order in the world of transmigrators. Or, to put it simply, he wanted to lead the transmigrators to resist the rule of the main system. There are a lot of fast transmigrators who didn't take the fast transmigration mission willingly. Instead, they were forcibly bound to it. Lingyi was one of them. His life was very miserable, yet he was still forced to start the fast transmigration mission. However, the main system didn't allow such a situation to occur. So, it defined Lingyi and the people from the Alliance as traitors and issued a mission to other fast transmigrators. Anyone who could defeat this organization would be able to immediately transcend. Transcend, in other words, was to get rid of the fast transmigration mission and return to a normal life. For many fast transmigrators, This was something that they could only dream of. Not everyone could withstand the frequent parting of life and death, the infighting, and the fighting and killing. Jianghu narrowed her eyes. She wasn't the only one who was forced to transmigrate. What exactly was going on? The black cat's eyes were brimming with tears. Ishin, please persuade him not to go against the main system anymore. He will only listen to you. Can you contact him? Chapter 778. I can't contact him for the time being, but I'll think of something. When the time comes, I'll leave it to you, Ishin. Okay, Jianghu answered. By the way, it's just like when the internet was hacked. Ishin, people from other planes have been attacking you. However, even Ling Yi helped you block them. Ishin, did you expose your true identity? Black Cat tilted its head and asked curiously. Jianghu was stunned. No. She had never revealed to anyone which plane she came from. She felt that it was a miracle that she could meet Ling Yi. Black Cat was perplexed. Okay, call me when there's news from Ling Yi, Jianghu instructed before withdrawing her consciousness. In the empty sea of consciousness, the black cat wagged its tail in boredom. Why don't I add that stupid cat Xiao Naofu into the group chat? When Jianghu woke up, her head hurt so badly that it felt like it was about to explode. The tiredness brought about by the hangover and the impact of the huge amount of information made her thoughts extremely chaotic. Good morning. The low and lazy voice gently entered her ears. Jianghu's body stiffened and her eyes widened sluggishly. She happened to be looking at Shui's impeccable face. The man's peach blossom eyes were half squinted like a lazy cat. Jianghu's heart was pounding wildly like a drum. Why are you on my bed? Or, am I on your bed? She stuttered. She tried her best to recall what had happened last night. Well, she couldn't remember anything after she had helped Su Rindong find a psychiatrist. Shui answered with a smile. It's hard to refuse such kindness. Jianghu was speechless. What did I do? Her heart was in a mess, but she still looked very calm on the surface. Is that so? Okay, you can leave now. Shui raised his eyebrows. You weren't like this last night. You were crying and acting coquettishly, and you wouldn't let me go. In the next second, Jianghu covered his thin lips with her hand. No, I wasn't. You do, a muffled voice said. I didn't. Jianghu was expressionless. Considering that the little rabbit needed to be taken care of, Shui's eyes were filled with gentle light and she didn't say anything inappropriate for children. However, their current posture seemed to be a little suggestive. Shui said calmly, I'm going for a morning run. Why don't you sleep for a while? Jianghu also realized that she was like an octopus, clinging to Shui. Yes, calm down, calm down. It's nothing. What's wrong with hugging my boyfriend? After comforting, hypnotizing, and brainwashing herself, the little girl quietly climbed down, but accidentally brushed against, whoosh. The little girl's head was so hot that smoke was about to come out. Shui flicked her forehead. There's some hangover tea on the bedside table. Remember to drink it. Jianghu's voice trembled. Okay. After Shui left the room, the little girl shrank into the quilt and buried herself tightly. Ah! Xiao Naofu, who was in the cat's nest, seemed to have suddenly grown up overnight. It stared at Jianghu, who was wrapped up in a ball on the bed, with a slightly aged expression. Stupid woman, you're just like me. You've been kissed by a dog man. We're not clean anymore. Shui cooked breakfast, and the taste was beyond Zhou Yan and Su Rindong's expectations. Sister, it hasn't woken up yet? Zhou Yan couldn't help but gossip. Shui, you're a little fierce, ahem. Su Rindong almost choked on his porridge and quickly coughed to remind him. Chapter 779. Zhou Yan also realized that something was amiss. Fortunately, they weren't on the live stream, otherwise, many people would misunderstand. Hee, I'm sorry. He apologized, but he wouldn't do it again. Zhou Yan mustered up his courage and asked, Shuringdi, are you really okay? Last night, #Shuringdi is okay hashtag was trending all night. Shui smiled and said, no comment. It's so hard to get some attention. Zhou Yan sighed and took out his phone to look at the trending list. He was amused and said, look, it's still in second place. What's first place? Food poisoning? How can it be number 1 with such little comments? You must have bought it? After he read carefully, his expression turned ugly. F***ck, this is not the right way to gain popularity. At the same time, Jianghu received a call from Annan. My goodness, you're on the trending list. Annan sounded aggrieved. Last night, someone auctioned your dumplings and ended up in the hospital. It's a celebrity who's about to debut. It's obvious that you're deliberately creating hype. Your methods are too dirty. Then, Si Chuanbai's steady and serious voice sounded. Sister E, don't worry, the PR department is already handling it. Then, Jianghu heard Si Chuanbai begin to comfort Annan in a low voice. Jianghu asked, by the way, Mr. Si, are you with Annan? Si Chuanbai didn't hide anything and said honestly, we worked overtime last night, so we slept in the office. Jianghu said, I see. Just as she was about to hang up, she heard Annan ask sadly, my goodness, are you going to have a baby? Jianghu was confused. I saw your live stream last night. Annan was filled with righteous indignation. Shuringdi is a dog is Shuringdi. He seemed to have thought of something and looked at Si Chuanbai weakly. I'm sorry, I should have considered your feelings. After all, she's your celebrity. Si Chuanbai's expression didn't change. Well said, he deserves it. Don't worry, I'm Sister Yi's family too. Jianghu was confused. What nonsense. The girl didn't know whether to laugh or cry. We're just sleeping together. Annan, will you get pregnant if you sleep together with Mr. Si? Annan had a sudden realization. So Shuringdi really can't do it. Si Chuanbai. For some reason, he felt that he had been hinted at. Little colored feather was asking for a beating. Jianghu chatted with Annan for another 10 minutes. The two of them hit it off quite well. Every time they called, they had endless things to talk about. Really? Really? Can I go freeload? Annan was overjoyed. I really like Zhou Yan. I'm so happy. Super happy. After hanging up, Annan immediately went to pack his things. Si Chuanbai relayed his instructions in the work group while perking up his ears and waiting for his invitation. However, only to hear the words, I'm setting off. Work hard. Si Chuanbai. The door was closed. The huge office suddenly became quiet and deserted. Si Chuanbai maintained his emotionless work style, but his mood was a little depressed. He took some time out of his busy schedule to send a concise message to Shui. Treat me to a meal. At 8:30 in the morning, the live stream of 2 Under One Roof was launched. When the viewers didn't see Jianghu, they all turned into famous detectives and made all sorts of wild guesses. She can't get out of bed? Could it be that her brothers took her away to be educated overnight? She must be feeling guilty. After all, she was the one who got him hospitalized. Chapter 780. The power of the trending searches was terrifying, and it soon attracted a lot of new viewers. Many of them were fans of Mo Feifei, who was about to debut. The agency that Mo Feifei signed with was the same agency that Luo Charan, one of the fans of #MorningstarFall #couple. It was not comparable to the established agency, but it had a good marketing method. Although Mo Feifei had yet to debut, she used to be an internet celebrity and the agency was preparing to send her to participate in the hottest girl group talent show in the country. Recently, they had released a lot of material and had already gained some popularity. As soon as Mo Feifei's fans entered the live stream, they immediately started criticizing without hesitation. However, most of Mo Feifei's fans were young, and because of Mo Feifei and her agency's deliberate guidance, their words were as harsh as they could be. Who is Jianghu? She doesn't look that good in the photos. What kind of C-list celebrity is she? She can't do anything, but she's the #1 drug addict, right? Come out and apologize to our Feifei. At the very least, kneel down and apologize. Kowtow and admit your guilt. Seeing these comments, the loyal fans of 2 Under One Roof were all confused. What kind of brain-damaged contestant is this? Children should study more, don't become a tool for the capitalist game. Jianghu is a C-list celebrity? Thank you, don't laugh at me, your Feifei must be an international S-list celebrity. The Spicy Tutu fans expressed that they were used to it. Everyone maintained their usual calmness and reported what they had to, without giving Mo Feifei's fans a single glance. Mo Feifei's fans jumped up and down for a long time, and even their hands were tired from typing, but Xiangyi still did not appear. It wasn't until past 10 o'clock that the girl's door opened. The camera turned and locked onto Xiangyi. There was silence in the live stream for a moment. Xiangyi's usual attire was mostly light sportswear or casual wear at home. In short, it was whatever was comfortable. Today, she had obviously dressed up. The ginger-yellow French retro tea dress accentuated the girl's snow-white skin and slender waist. The hem of the dress was ingeniously stitched with floral fabric. The neckline was V-shaped, but it wasn't too low. However, one could still notice the graceful curve of her body. She looked very good. There was a youthful vibe, and she had a bright beauty that was just beginning to mature. The three men in the living room looked over at the same time with different reactions. Zhou Yan was very surprised. "Wow, Brother Yi, you're dressed so feminine today." Su Rendong was purely appreciating it. "This dress is very beautiful." Shi Sui's deep eyes were filled with amazement. The little rabbit had grown up. His gaze paused below the girl's collarbone for a moment, and he calmly suggested, "It should look good with a scarf." "Really? Didn't Xiang Qi send a few messages 2 days ago?" What was worth mentioning was that Xiangyi's brothers had never stopped sending her deliveries. Basically, whenever he ate something delicious, saw some pretty clothes, hair accessories, or heard that some fun game consoles, toys, and ornaments were popular, he would immediately think of his sister. "Then I'll go back and check it out." After a while, Xiangyi came out with a floral scarf. It had to be said that Xiang Qi's color matching was at the level of a genius. With the scarf as embellishment, Xiangyi's outfit was even more outstanding. In the live stream, not a single comment from Mo's fans could be seen. They were all taken over by Mo's fans. "She's a pretty girl. TSK, she can obviously rely on her looks, but she has to rely on her talent. You call her looks SOSO? She can King beat all the beauties in the entertainment industry." Chapter 781. In hindsight, countless people recalled why Xiang Yi had first entered the entertainment industry and became popular. Wasn't it because of her face? However, since the start of the live stream, the girl hadn't dressed up much, so everyone's attention was rarely on Xiang Yi's face. Today, Mo Feifei's fans' actions had instantly drawn everyone's attention to Xiang Yi's looks. Especially when they searched for Mo Feifei's photo, it was really as the saying went, without comparison, there would be no harm. Mo Feifei was naturally good-looking as well. She walked the path of a pure goddess and would often post articles about the most beautiful bare-faced woman in 1,000 years. However, in front of Xiang Yi, it was really not enough. Whether it was the exquisiteness of her facial features, the proportion of her figure, or her aura, Xiang Yi was a complete blow to her. Apart from being amazed by Xiang Yi's beauty, the most important thing she got was, Shi Yingdi is afraid that Sister Yi will expose herself. I'm also jealous today. Sisters, I suggest you rewind to the 6th second of Sister Yi's appearance. Take a screenshot and zoom in. You will see a red mark below the collarbone at the edge of the collar. Is it a strawberry? I'm only asking about a type of fruit. F***ck, Shi Yingdi is too excited. Grass, a type of plant? F***c, let's get married. I'm going to faint. Sun, a type of celestial body. The netizens were gobbling up candy while Xiang Yi and the others chatted in the living room. There was a summer break at Little Rabbit Farm, starting from tomorrow for 7 days. In previous years, the tradition was that Xiang Yi would cook for everyone. This year, with the clown Zhou Yan around, he insisted on holding a concert for the uncles, aunties, and uncles of Little Rabbit Farm. Su Rendong hesitated. Your ears? It's fine. I can do it. We don't need any professional equipment, just a karaoke machine will do. Everyone can participate too. Su Rendong nodded when he saw how excited he was. In any case, he would just accompany him. Xiang Yi said, then I'll go talk to Uncle Wang and see if there are any black pigs in a bad mood. I'll kill 2 for dinner. The bullet screen was filled with laughter. It was all Little Black Pig, don't come over. Mo's fans were the angriest. They realized that not only were they being ignored, they were being completely ignored. What a lousy concert. What's so good about it? It sounded very rustic. Also, Xiangyi actually slaughtered pigs. She even killed 2 of them. It sounded so cruel. They were furious, but it was useless. They couldn't say anything in the live broadcast room. Other than the Yen fans, Xiangyi had the most number of foodie fans. They were discussing the 100 ways to eat the little black pig. Instead, it was Zhou Yen who brought it up. Dumpling poisoning? Xiangyi frowned. Is it serious? How is she now? Zhou Yen was stunned. He had seen a lot of intrigue in the entertainment industry, so he was not used to Xiangyi's reaction. There was a 99% chance that it was just a publicity stunt to ride on her popularity, but Xiangyi's first concern was her body. There shouldn't be a problem, Mo's fans. She's just a hypocrite. I'll go take a look. Xiangyi lowered her head and sent a message to Nan and Uncle Butler. Zhou Yen, Brother E, are you kidding? That Mo Feifei is in North City. It's so far away. How are you going to get there? Half an hour later, the sound of a helicopter's propeller could be heard in the courtyard. Zhou Yen, private helicopter? Sorry to disturb, really. Chapter 782. Tutu crews landed on the top floor of a private hospital in North City. Since Xiangyi was going out, Shui naturally had to follow her. The itinerary was confidential and the hospital's security was strong. Their appearance did not attract much attention. The 2 of them registered at the reception desk and the nurses could not help but steal glances at them. There was indeed a huge difference between celebrities and ordinary people. Their hospital would occasionally have internet celebrities, but they had to admit that there was still a wall between them and celebrities. In the ward, her manager was instructing Mo Feifei to pay attention to her expression later. We're definitely going to ride on this wave of popularity today. Even Jesus can't stop us. Mo Feifei, who was lying on the hospital bed, was beautiful but also very haggard. She looked pitiful. However, the moment she opened her mouth, she said, "What should I do? My little heart is thumping. I'm so nervous." Her manager said, "You'd better not talk later. I'm here." Sigh, why did such a beautiful girl have such a mouth? The staff at the side adjusted the live broadcast equipment and said, "Brother, it's done. I guarantee that when Shui and Xiangyi come in later, we can start the live broadcast." The manager nodded. "Okay, thank you for your hard work." He gave out 2 packs of cigarettes. A few staff members chuckled and took the cigarettes out. Mo Feifei rubbed her stomach with a pained expression. "Brother, I feel terrible. Bear with it." The manager persuaded her earnestly. "Why did we endure for so long? Isn't it to make a name for ourselves? Today is your best chance. If you miss today, you don't know how long you'll have to endure." Mo Feifei thought of the hellish life she had been living during this period and could not help but shudder. At this moment, the manager received a message from the stalker and was overjoyed. "They're here. Shui and Xiangyi are in the elevator." He quickly opened the live broadcast and greeted the fans who had been waiting for a long time. "Hello, Mo fans. I'm Feifei's manager, Brother Fei. Feifei, say hello to your dear fans." Mo Feifei looked at the camera and a gentle smile appeared on her face. She was barefaced and her straight black hair was let down. She looked innocent but also a little weak. She was known by the netizens as the femme fatale. She moved her lips and was about to say something when Brother Fei shot her a cold glare. She immediately shut up and waved her hand. Her hands were fair and slender, and on the back of her hands, there were even traces of bruises from the foredrip. In an instant, Mo's fans felt their hearts ache to the extreme. Sister Feifei has suffered. I'm so angry, I really want to press Xiangyi down and kowtow to Feifei. Our Feifei's debut is imminent and was supposed to be her best stage, but now she's lying here because of Xiangyi. She's still a child, why does she have to bear all this? Tears, tears. Brother Fei's timing was just right. As soon as this wave of pitiful ended, there was a knock on the door of the ward. Ahem, please come in. Shui opened the door and entered the ward first. Mo's fans instantly misunderstood. Wow, Shui actually came to see our Feifei. Does he like our Feifei? In just a moment, Xiangyi's figure appeared in front of everyone's eyes. Mo's fans were heartbroken. Sorry to disturb you, Miss Mo, Xiangyi greeted in a gentle voice. Brother Fei was about to go up to her when he suddenly had a bad feeling. Feifei exclaimed in surprise, Sister, you're really here. Brother Fei was speechless. He had tried so hard to guard against her, but he never expected that it would be impossible to guard against her. Chapter 783. In the live stream, Mo's fans were also dumbfounded. What did we just hear? Mo Feifei was indeed an internet celebrity, but she usually only posted beautiful photos on social media and had never posted any audio clips. In the beginning, Mo's fans thought that the agency was trying to protect their undebuted artist and maintain a sense of mystery. But now, it seemed, that wasn't the case. Xiangyi nodded at Mo Feifei and said, I heard about what happened yesterday. How are you feeling? Can I take your pulse? Mo Feifei said, That would be great, Brother Fei interrupted her. I'm sorry, Miss Xiang, Feifei has an attending doctor in charge of her treatment. In other words, he didn't trust Xiangyi to treat Mo Feifei. Xiangyi was already mentally prepared for this. Can I talk to her attending doctor then? Brother Fei said sternly, Miss Xiang, are you trying to bribe the doctor? In that case, Xiangyi paused for a moment. Brother Fei immediately perked up and tried to deal with Xiangyi's next scheme. Unexpectedly, she just said casually, I won't disturb you then. Brother Fei was speechless. Mo's fans were speechless. What? Isn't Xiangyi here to apologize to Mo Feifei? Is this the attitude of an apology? 2. Mo's fans immediately scolded. If Xiangyi saw the bullet screen comments, she would truly understand what modern internet culture was. Brother Fei said angrily, Our Feifei was hospitalized because she ate the dumplings you made. Are you trying to shirk responsibility? Xiangyi said calmly, Have you sent the remaining dumplings to a professional organization for testing? If so, when the test results are out, I'll definitely take responsibility if it's my fault. If it's not my fault, sorry, I won't accept any scams. In fact, from the moment she entered and observed Mo Feifei's complexion, she was already 90% sure that Mo Feifei was fine. Brother Fei choked and glanced at Mo Feifei. Mo Feifei shrank into the blanket guiltily. Where are the remaining dumplings? I've finished all my food, Xiangyi. Miss Mo, rest well and pay attention to your diet. Sure Sui, I wish Miss Mo a speedy recovery. Mo Feifei's management company smelled the buzz and quickly bought a trending topic. The viewers who had just entered the live broadcast room saw that Sure Sui and Xiangyi were about to leave. She's leaving just like that? Have you apologized? Why did Xiangyi bring Sure Sui here? Are you using your status to suppress others? Seeing that the two of them were about to leave, Brother Fei panicked. Hey, wait a minute, Xiangyi. In just a few minutes, Brother Fei made a decision. Well, please take Feifei's pulse. I heard that your medical skills are quite good. The hospital only gave a diagnosis of food poisoning and did not say anything else. As Mo Feifei's manager, Brother Fei was quite worried about her. Xiangyi nodded and walked to Mo Feifei's bedside. She asked, Can I? Mo Feifei was speechless. Sure. Her expression was like a little fangirl who had seen her idol, her eyes sparkling. Xiangyi, please give me your hand. Mo Feifei did as she was told. When she felt Xiangyi's hand on her wrist, Mo Feifei couldn't help but sigh. Sister, what kind of hand cream are you using? Your little hand is so tender and slippery. Brother Fei, why couldn't his artiste be a mute? Chapter 784. In the live stream, Mo's fans went from bewildered to disheartened. This is Feifei? Feifei, why can you speak? Don't shoot. Oh no, don't speak. I'm sorry I'm dead. This woman with a strong accent turned out to be their goddess, Mo Feifei. Many of Mo's fans were instantly disillusioned. Xiangyi's expression remained unchanged as she finished taking Mo Feifei's pulse. Weak spleen, weak stomach, and hollow qi. Xiangyi frowned slightly. Do you usually eat and sleep irregularly? Mo Feifei said embarrassedly, I'm used to staying up late. I usually sleep at 2 or 3. The audience watching the live stream resonated with this. TSK, how many young people don't stay up late these days? As for eating, Emma Feifei glanced at the screen and gritted her teeth. She grabbed Xiangyi's hand with tears in her eyes, as if she had found a family member. Sis, I haven't had a full meal in a long time. Your dumplings last night were so delicious. I'm going to finish them off one by one. But I'm still hungry, what should I do? Brother Fei held the phone holder with one hand and covered half of his face with the other. He really couldn't bear to look at her. The goddess persona that he had painstakingly created had collapsed into a female psycho. Xiangyi said, "You probably don't eat properly, and you're not eating properly. Plus, you're overworked, which led to a lack of energy and blood, resulting in a weak spleen." Mo Feifei was dumbfounded. Sis, what are you talking about? Brother Fei staggered and trembled as he reached for the heart-calming oral fluid. His own artist had to die with tears in her eyes. After this psycho, Mo Feifei was probably going to have another black mark for being uncultured. Xiangyi explained in layman's terms, you usually eat too little and eat too much all of a sudden. Your spleen and stomach can't take it, which led to a series of reactions. However, your pulse does show signs of poisoning. Apart from the dumplings, what else did you eat? Mo Feifei thought for a while and took out a bag to show to Xiangyi. Boss told me to eat this meal replacement powder. Do you usually eat this? That's not good. My boss said that I'm too fat. Someone with such a big frame like me looks tough on camera. I have to be as thin as a piece of paper to look good. When it came to her figure, Mo Feifei was obviously not confident and was in low spirits. Brother Fei was stunned. Didn't you tell me that you were eating a nutritious meal? Recently, he had been helping Mo Feifei run for resources, pull in connections, and sign the talent show contract. He did not have the time to care about Mo Feifei's life. Every time he asked her, she would say that she was eating the nutritious meals arranged by the company. Brother Fei didn't take it to heart. Mo Feifei looked innocent and showed Brother Fei the full name of the substitute Fan Frowny Face Nutritional Milk Substitute Low-Calorie Free Fullness. Brother Fei cursed out loud. Was the big boss crazy about money? In order to make his artiste lose weight, he actually resorted to unscrupulous means. How could she eat this every day? Xiangyi tore open the bag of meal substitute powder, sniffed it, and sighed. I can roughly smell a few grains and additives. If you eat too much, the nutrients you consume will be too monotonous. It will cause malnutrition and may even cause food poisoning. Brother Fei felt terrible and wanted to argue with the boss. Before he turned off the live stream, he looked at the comments in the live stream in despair. They were probably all scolding Feifei. To his surprise, the style of the comments was like this frowny face stopped dancing in a girl group. Change to crosstalk and debut. Sisters, you're so funny. Brother Fei? Chapter 785. He really didn't understand what young people were thinking these days. He took a closer look at the data. Admittedly, some of Mo Feifei's fans had left because of Mo Feifei's accent, but the number of fans had increased even more. Our sister isn't fat at all. Trash company. Sister, quickly terminate the contract. Feifei, hurry up and hug Xiangyi's thigh. Change your contract to Tomato Entertainment. You'll be provided with food and a full stomach. She ate food instead of food poisoning and ended up in the hospital. I'm sorry. Although it's pitiful, I think it's hilarious. I used to think that Mo Feifei was quite pretentious, but now I suddenly feel like she's a treasure. Brother Fei couldn't believe it. Mo Feifei had actually gained fans with that mouth of hers. In the blink of an eye, Brother Fei caught the main point. Xiangyi was the CEO of Tomato Entertainment. The contract he had gotten for Mo Feifei was only for a year, and the penalty for breach of contract wasn't high either. Now that the company was using Mo Feifei as a tool, frequent overmarketing wasn't good for an artist's development. Thinking of this, Brother Fei's expression changed instantly. He chuckled and said, "It's a misunderstanding, this is all a misunderstanding. But Sister E, since you're already here, there's something I want to tell you. Feifei has always liked you and Little Rabbit Farm. If there's a chance, I hope Feifei can go on a day trip there." This was the only thing he could do. He was just trying his best to pave a way for Mo Feifei. Sorry, Feifei, this is all I can do for you. Brother Fei's heart was filled with sorrow. He even added a sad background music for himself. However, he heard Xiangyi's melodious voice. If you want to go, you can go anytime. There wasn't any special reason. It was just that Mo Feifei was really too beautiful, the kind of beauty that Xiangyi couldn't resist. Mo Feifei was overjoyed. Really? Then there's no time like the present. Can I go to your house for a meal, as a guest today? Xiangyi couldn't help but laugh. Brother Fei tried to defend Mo Feifei. Our Feifei isn't going for the meal. She really likes sister. She usually doesn't eat that much. The more he spoke, the less confident he became. After the misunderstanding was resolved, Mo Feifei happily boarded Xiangyi's tutu and flew straight to the manor. Brother Fei had already turned off his livestream, but there were still a lot of Mo fans watching the livestream. Their expressions were blank. Their minds were in a trance. Not only was Xiangyi not the culprit behind Mo Feifei's food poisoning, but she even invited the starving Mo Feifei to her house for dinner. He was simply a philanthropist. When she thought about how they had scolded Xiangyi so many times, she suddenly felt his face hurt. In the live stream of Two Under One Roof, the audience had been looking forward to it for a long time. Finally, Xiangyi and Shui came back. But why was there a beauty following behind him? The fans of the untimely couple quickly went into a state of alert, afraid that this woman would not know what was good for her and would seduce Shurindi. But what caught them off guard was that she was actually holding Xiangyi's arm intimately. Wait a minute, safe my foot. Sister E is popular with both men and women. It's not safe for girls either. The staff stepped forward and gave Xiangyi and Shui the microphones. After hesitating for a while, they also gave one to Mo Feifei. The conversation between her and Xiangyi was clearly heard by everyone. What are you doing? Killing a pig? Sis, I'll do it for you. Okay, I'll sharpen the knife for you then. Everyone was speechless. Two beauties were killing a pig online? Chapter 786. Oh my, that's great. We can still chat for a while. Hence, the two left Shui behind and headed towards Little Rabbit Farm. Everyone was speechless. New beauty, let's make a deal. Can we turn off the mic? Campus goddess when she doesn't open her mouth, battle goddess when she opens her mouth. I hate Shurindi is such a gigolo, he doesn't even know how to butcher a pig. Shui is a noob. +1, +2, plus ID number. Somehow, the style changed from lamenting Mo Feifei's accent to despising Shui for not knowing how to butcher a pig. Because of this, Shui also became the trending topic of #ShuringdiRookie hashtag. The Shui sisters' reaction was, that's right, he's a noob. He's a good-for-nothing man except for his acting skills and looks. The anti-fans were speechless. What use do I have for this keyboard? Are you all fake fans? Why are you more anti-fans than us? Little Rabbit Farm. Considering Mo Feifei's health, Xiangyi was in no hurry to bring her to butcher a pig. Instead, she made her some food first. She cooked a pot of san-xian rice noodles, a plate of spiced beef, milk, and strawberries. Mo Feifei's face was buried in the bowl from beginning to end, and she didn't even look up. The audience's comments changed from, pretty girl, pay attention to your image, to, this girl is so good at eating. After eating 3 bowls of rice noodles, Mo Feifei still felt unsatisfied. If it weren't for Xiangyi stopping her, she would have eaten more. Delicious. It's so delicious. Mo Feifei's eyes were brimming with tears. I haven't had a full meal in a long time. Xiangyi pulled out a few tissues to help her wipe her mouth. However, Mo Feifei dodged. No, I can still eat some fruits. I'll wipe them together later. Save the tissue. After this meal, I don't know when my next full meal will be. Xiangyi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It's not good for your body to lose weight by dieting. Besides, you're already very thin. Mo Feifei was 165 centimeters tall and weighed 46 kilograms. Her body proportions were excellent and she looked very slim in real life. No, I have to be as thin as a size 0 girl. Mo Feifei found a popular website called 1 Billion Young Girls Dream, Girl Number Zero's height and weight chart. There were strict requirements for a girl's height and weight. For example, a height of 150 centimeters and a weight requirement of 33 kilograms, Jianghu. According to this table, wouldn't it mean that only a skinny body was the so-called ideal? The girl's milky white face tensed up. Mo Feifei, beauty standards are diverse. It's not only the skinny ones who look good. There are many types of beauty. Slim, healthy, and plump ones are all beautiful. If someone attacks or humiliates you because of your figure, it's not your problem, it's the other party's problem. Mo Feifei's mouth was stuffed with strawberries. At this moment, she had forgotten to chew. Her cheeks were puffed up and she looked silly. However, she looked even more pitiful than her usual delicate self. Sister E is so righteous. Mo Feifei more. Use a basin. Exactly, why do all girls have to be thin? Isn't it because society pursues the abnormal beauty standards of fair, thin, and young? Most of Mo Feifei's fans also felt that Jianghu's words made sense. However, there were a few extreme Mo Feifei's fans who thought differently. Ordinary people are ordinary people, and female celebrities are female celebrities. Jianghu is trying to make our Feifei unable to be a female celebrity and can only be an ordinary person, right? Chapter 787. In the living room, Nan was shaking Xiao Naofu's hammock while scrolling through the comments. When he saw the comments, his head was filled with question marks. Are these people brainless? With this level of reading comprehension, I'll get a negative score in the language exam, right? He typed furiously and passionately with the trolls. Within a few minutes, a notification popped up on the screen. Your account has been banned. This system is too smart. How can it still be discovered that I'm cursing when I use homophones and separators? Nan scratched his head in pain. His colorful hair was in a mess, sticking up here and there. Just as he was going crazy, a pure black phone suddenly appeared in front of him. He looked up and saw an expressionless Si Chuanbai in a suit. Mr. C, why are you here? Your artist can invite you, but my artist can't invite me? Oh. A certain top manager said in a businesslike tone, why are you in a daze? Use my account. Nan carefully said, what if it gets banned? His messy hair was suddenly smoothed out by a big hand. Mr. C sneered in his ear. Do your best. If it gets banned, I'll apply for 100 more accounts. Nan was speechless. As expected of Mr. C. Xiao Naofu, who was on the hammock, looked even more weary. After all, it was who had to bear all the public display of affection. Mo Feifei's stomach was full and she patted her bulging belly with satisfaction. Suddenly remembering Brother Fei's instructions, she blushed and said timidly, am I eating too much? It's okay. She was a far cry from her brothers who brought bowls, pots, and pots of rice. Let me see the comments. Mo Feifei took out her phone and clicked into the live stream. When she saw the malicious comments, her good mood instantly disappeared. She slumped on the table gloomily. I've really been scolded. In the live stream, everyone was saying how much she ate. There were even insults such as, like a pig, sooner or later you'll become a dead fatty, and other people are runaway princesses, Mo Feifei is a runaway stepmother. What made Mo Feifei feel the most uncomfortable was that she had implicated Jianghu. When Jianghu said that, there is a diversity of aesthetics, it was obviously for her health, but these netizens misinterpreted Jianghu's meaning. Jianghu makes everyone else fat while she's thin and beautiful. Scheming B***. Jianghu makes it sound so easy, but how can a person not care about what others think when they live in this world? Why don't you eat minced meat? Female celebrities have to be thin and pretty. After choosing this line of work, he could enjoy the pursuit and high income at the same time, but he couldn't even bear this little bit of hardship? Xiang XX, do whatever you want, but don't lead our Feifei astray. I'm sorry, sister. Mo Feifei said sadly. I've caused you trouble. I shouldn't have come. Jianghu glanced at the comments and patted Mo Feifei's head. Don't be upset. I'll help you fight back. Mo Feifei looked at him suspiciously. You know how to insult people? After all, Xiangyi looked gentle and soft. She didn't seem like someone who would insult others. Xiangyi, I think so. She patted her face and changed her expression. Isn't this super fierce? Mo Feifei nodded. There's an inner taste. The audience was looking forward to it. This was Xiangyi's first time insulting netizens. Many marketing accounts were even ready to write their drafts in real time. In the next second, even the young girl turned her little face and picked up the butcher's knife beside her. She said fiercely, "If you guys keep talking nonsense, I'm going to sharpen my knife." Chapter 788. Mo Feifei helped to add to the atmosphere. What are you looking at? If you keep looking, I'll skin you. Everyone was speechless. Faced with the threat of two great beauties, who would be afraid? That's it? That's it? Yeah, Sister E, you're super fierce. I'm not being perfunctory. Is this how a cute girl scolds others? Haha, sorry, I don't feel scared, I just find her cute. The netizens who were active just now were at a loss for words. How were they supposed to retort? It wasn't easy for them to calm down, but these netizens brought up the female celebrities must be thin remark again. Xiangyi asked in confusion, aren't female celebrities human? The girl casually asked a rhetorical question, which instantly made the trolls shut their microphones. This question seemed simple, but it wasn't easy to answer. If they said that female celebrities weren't human, they would definitely become the target of public criticism. If they said that female celebrities were human, wouldn't that mean they were following Xiangyi's rhythm and agreeing with Xiangyi's point of view? Female celebrities are human too. Why can't we be more tolerant of the aesthetic standards of girls' bodies? Xiangyi's tone was gentle as she spoke. Why does everyone have to be the same size? Why do they have to be uniformly beautiful and conform to the established standards? If it's for health reasons, I don't agree with any extreme weight loss that involves dieting or even going on a hunger strike. Diet pills shouldn't be taken carelessly, they're very harmful to the body. My big brother said that every girl is sparkling. It's human nature to pursue beauty, but beauty shouldn't be limited to only one form. What do you think? Mo Feifei stared straight at Xiangyi. Although she didn't quite understand what Xiangyi meant, she felt that Xiangyi was too charming when she was serious. In the live stream, many viewers were deep in thought. Thinking about it carefully, Xiangyi's words did make sense. Which girl didn't want to lose weight every day? However, from a health point of view, did every girl really need to lose weight? Not necessarily. However, the aesthetic standards of the public had become an invisible shackle that set the rules. Not conforming to the rules was a mistake. Over 100 pounds was considered a sin. You're a troll and you still have the nerve to troll her? They probably don't have mothers. Some trolls racked their brains and tried to type a rebuttal, but the more they thought about it, the more they felt, Sister E was right. Many people betrayed them and agreed with Xiangyi's words. There were also some people who were stubborn and refused to listen no matter what. To this, Xiangyi's response was, sharpening the knife. The pig slaughtering knife had been sharpened by the whetstone. The girl tested the blade with her finger and calmly said, Feifei, pick a pig. Hence, 2 lucky black pigs that were suffering from depression were chosen. They screamed as their limbs were tied up. Mo Feifei really knew how to butcher a pig. She used the knife to show which part of the body was the best to cut. From time to time, she would even discuss with Xiangyi. Naturally, the scene of the pig being slaughtered would not be broadcasted. However, right before the broadcast, Xiangyi smiled and said to the camera, be more obedient in the future. Troll. Suddenly, they shivered. They had a feeling that in the next second, the knife was going to come at them through the cable. This woman, Xiangyi, was too terrifying. Miraculously, the live stream became quiet. The loyal viewers of Two Under One Roof jokingly called this scene #Ife slaughters pigs to troll hashtag, leaving a strong mark in the history of variety shows. Chapter 789. Come, let's serve the food. Little Rabbit Farm was bathed in the glow of dusk, and it was bustling with activity. Wang Xuanli had already instructed his men to set up the tables and chairs, and the meal felt like a banquet. Dishes that made the audience drool were served one by one: braised pork, fried crispy pork, boiled pork slices, stir-fried pork with green peppers, Two depressed, little black pigs made up for this sumptuous feast. There was even a grill set up at the side. Li Jianyu had used his power for personal gain and snatched the job of roasting pork belly. The fresh pork was sliced into thin slices and roasted over the fire for a while before the fat dripped off. A small brush was used to brush Xiangyi's secret barbecue sauce, and the aroma seemed to penetrate the screen and reach the audience's nostrils. Apart from that, the local specialties of Little Rabbit Farm were also indispensable, and they filled up the entire table. Xiangyi had prepared cold dishes, braised dishes, and other dishes in advance. Her ability to plan time was amazing, and she only needed to cook a few simple dishes. She went to the yard, served a glass of fruit wine, and thanked all the workers. Most of the workers on the farm were farmers from nearby and didn't earn much. After Xiangyi built the farm, not only could they work to earn a salary, they could also plant all kinds of excellent seeds that Little Rabbit Farm and the Research Institute had collaborated on, and their crop output had increased substantially. Now that their village had become a famous, high-tech farming demonstration base, they were extremely grateful to Xiangyi. The person in charge of Little Rabbit Farm, Wang Xuanli, scratched his head and smiled honestly. "Miss Xiang, we should be the ones thanking you. There's no need to say anything else, it's all in the wine." He raised his glass and downed it in one gulp. The other workers followed suit. After drinking, Xiangyi gave everyone a red packet. This was also a tradition of Little Rabbit Farm. Every year, there would be a year-end bonus. In the live stream, many viewers were envious. There's actually a high-temperature holiday, and they're even giving out red packets. What kind of godly boss is Sister E? Some workers even began to ask about Little Rabbit Farm's recruitment requirements. After she was done, Xiangyi returned to the main table. Mo Feifei was engrossed in her food, and it was as if she didn't recognize anyone, which shocked Zhou Yan. 5 bowls. Sister, this is yours. Zhou Yan gave Mo Feifei a thumbs up. Mo Feifei did not even raise her head. She still remembered what Brother Fei had told her to do. She mumbled, "It's not that I can eat, it's just that this bowl is too small." Everyone laughed, but they didn't have any ill intentions. Su Nindong had severe misophobia. While he was suffering, Xiangyi brought him a separate, boxed lunch. The lunchbox had 2 layers and a total of 8 dishes, exuding an enticing aura. "Does this make you feel better?" The feeling of someone caring about his feelings was it was pretty good. Su Rindong smiled gratefully. "Thank you, Sister E. I've troubled you." Although he was still a clean freak, it was still within his tolerance range. Not long after, the karaoke machine was delivered. Xiang Feng had finally arrived with Shiryu. Shiryu looked like he had nothing to live for. She did not know what he had been through in the past 2 days. He threw himself into Xiangyi's arms and sniffed pitifully. "I don't want to play anymore. I want to study." "Who?" Xiangyi stroked his head. "How about you write 10 pages of summer homework later? I want to write 20 pages. The audience, ? Little kid, your idea is a little dangerous. Chapter 790. On the other side, Zhou Yan and Xiang Feng had already become familiar with each other. The two of them even sang classic songs such as My Good Brother, My Friend's Wine, and Men Are Tired. It was worth mentioning that when the two of them put their arms around each other's shoulders, Su Rindong's expression was shockingly ugly. Annan's hand that was holding chopsticks trembled slightly because he had battled with the netizens for too long today. Si Chuanbai pushed his glasses up and snatched the chopsticks away from him, replacing them with a spoon. Annan reached out to take it, only to realize that Si Chuanbai had no intention of giving him the spoon. Instead, he scooped a spoonful of rice and brought it to his mouth. "Huh?" Annan was dumbfounded. "Mr. C.W., what are you doing?" "You're fighting for Sister E, so I'm feeding you. What's wrong with that?" Si Chuanbai asked in a logical manner. Annan, well, it seemed to make sense. Forget it, he couldn't let the rice fly away when it was already in his mouth. Thus, Annan opened his mouth wide and began to eat the rice in big mouthfuls. In the live stream, all sorts of evil couples wished they could set off firecrackers. Everyone's head is clear. All KSW, today's sugar content has exceeded the limit. Sisters in front, You're screaming too loudly. Chicken coop warning. The karaoke concert was very successful, and almost everyone participated. Wang Xunli and the others also sang 2 old songs, evoking many people's memories of that era. An Nan sang out of tune thousands of miles away, causing the crowd to burst into laughter. Meanwhile, Mo Feifei dominated the audience with a good song and received the warmest applause. The crowd gradually dispersed, and in the end, only Xiangyi's table was left. Zhou Yan jeered, "Sure Ingdi, come one. I've never heard you sing before." Everyone thought that Shi Sui would politely decline, but he unexpectedly curled his lips and actually agreed. "I'm sorry for my incompetence, everyone." The comments in the live stream were like a sea, and everyone was extremely excited. They had lived long enough. They had actually waited until the day Shi Ingdi sang. After watching this for a long time, all sorts of miracles could indeed happen. Shi Sui's well-defined fingertips tapped on the screen of the karaoke machine a few times and selected a song. He sang a very old love song. In the wind of this summer night, it was gentle and affectionate. Even if there are thousands of songs in the future floating in the distance on my way, even if there are 1,000 stars to come brighter than tonight's moon, can't compare with the beauty of this night, doesn't make me appreciate it more. Because you sing with me tonight? The live stream was in an uproar. Brother, debut as a solo singer. I'll be the first to buy the album. Shi Ingdi's singing is amazing. Is there anything this man doesn't know? Xiangyi leaned on Mo Feifei's shoulder. Her eyes were curved and her dimples were shallow. This was an incomparably warm and beautiful night. Being slightly drunk was better than being drunk, and there was someone by her side. The person she liked was singing a beautiful love song. If time could stop at this moment, it must be. Just as this thought flashed through her mind, Xiangyi heard the frantic screams of the small system in her mind. "Yixin, it's over, that attack is coming again. Ooh-hoo, Lingyi isn't here, I can't take it anymore." It let out a blood-curdling scream, and then went silent. After the song ended, Shi Sui was about to hand the microphone to someone else when he suddenly sensed something and turned to look at Xiangyi. The girl's face was extremely pale. Her cherry lips moved as if she wanted to say something, but she slid weakly onto Mo Feifei and fell into a deep sleep. With a bang, the microphone fell to the ground, emitting an ear-piercing and sharp sound of electricity. Today, it was still An Wan who updated early. Trailer, there will be a small update tomorrow. Good night, please vote for me Jiu. Chapter 791. There was chaos at the scene. Mo Feifei screamed, "Ah, Sister E, what's wrong with you?" The girl who had fallen into her arms had already been held by a pair of large hands. She could vaguely feel that Shi Sui's hands were trembling. Shi Sui helped the girl lie flat on the ground and checked her arteries with his fingers. The girl's pulse was stable and everything was normal. She was like a sleeping beauty in a fairy tale, exquisite and beautiful, but she would never open her eyes. With Si Chuanbai, the top manager, around, he immediately dialed 120. The program crew couldn't care less about the live stream and rushed to Xiangyi's side. The screen of the live stream turned black, but no one paid attention to it. In the comments section, the audience was burning with anxiety. Why did Sister E faint? I'm crying. Tutu, please don't let anything happen to her. Is she overworked? She cooked so many dishes on her own. At the scene, Xiang Feng's grandfather was a famous doctor of the generation. Although Xiang Feng didn't inherit his mantle, he knew the most basic first aid. After a set of measures, Xiangyi didn't react at all. How did this happen? Xiang Feng's forehead was full of sweat that was dripping down. He sounded like he was about to cry. Little Xiangyi, don't scare me. You're joking with me, right? Stop fooling around, let's stop fooling around. An Nan secretly wiped his eyes and asked Si Chuanbai anxiously, how much longer will the ambulance take? Get out of the way. Move back a little. Li Jinyu yelled. Everyone retreated, leaving only Xiang Feng and Shi Sui. Only then did everyone notice Shi Sui's appearance at this moment. In everyone's impression, Shi Sui had always been gentle, polite, and gentlemanly. No matter what he did, he would always be calm and collected, knowing when to advance or retreat. This was the first time everyone had seen Shui in such a disheveled state. He was half kneeling on the ground. His clean shirt was stained with dust, and his glasses were missing. A few strands of his hair were scattered in front of his forehead. His deep eyes were scarlet, and his whole person exuded a sinister aura. But even though he was so paranoid and full of hostility, when he took off his shirt and covered Jianghu with it, his actions were incredibly gentle. 3 days later. Today was the 3rd day since Jianghu fell into a coma. It was also the 3rd day since Two Under One Roof stopped airing. The Xiang family had already put down all their work and came to the hospital. Xiang Yi's grandfather used all his connections to invite countless famous doctors, but all of their diagnoses were the same. Nothing serious. He just fell asleep. However, Xiang Yin was still worried. In just a few days, his hair had turned even whiter. Less than an hour later, he leaned on his cane and came to the single ward with Madame Xiang to see the bunny. Xiang Yi was still sleeping soundly on the hospital bed, but her face had lost a lot of weight. Anyone who saw her would feel sorry for her. Xiang Yin sighed and patted Shui on the shoulder. Previously, he disliked Shui, but now his attitude was much more mellow. Go get some rest. Let Sanction and the others take your place. Shui said in a hoarse voice, "It's okay, I'll stay with her for a while longer." After a pause, he said softly, "I'm afraid that she'll be scared if she doesn't see me when she wakes up." Xiang Yin sighed again and didn't say anything in the end. Madame Xiang instructed Shui and was not in the mood to say anything else. The two of them were about to return to the lounge, but they saw Xiang Yi's eyelashes fluttering as she slowly opened her eyes. At the same time, in a cramped room in the slums of the Star City, the capital of the Alliance in a certain interstellar plane, Xiang Yi stayed up for 2 nights and finally obtained some information about this world. Chapter 792. To put it simply, she was about to transmigrate, but this mission was different from the previous one. Her soul had been swapped. Her current body was called I. She had no family and lived alone in the slums. In this world, technology was extremely advanced, but with it came a series of problems. For example, most humans had lost their ability to reproduce. Humans who had the ability to reproduce were often treated well. However, I did not, so she had been living at the bottom all these years. She was vain, too lazy to study, and unwilling to work. She relied on the monthly allowance and credit coins from the Alliance to survive. She dreamed that one day, she would suddenly have the ability to give birth and marry the captain or commander of a starship. Xiang Yi learned all this from the photon computer she left behind. "Calm down, I must calm down." Xiang Yi took a deep breath and turned on the photon computer. She raised her hand and drew a mind map in the air, using special symbols to express the information she already knew. First, I should be the one who was chosen to transmigrate, but she was replaced by the one who transmigrated. Second, after the mission was completed, she returned to her original world and cut off her connection with I. Third, I once again swapped their souls. This time, the system did not appear, so it might have nothing to do with the so-called transmigration system, but I used a special method. Fourth, if she wanted to go home, she had to survive first. Xiang Yi looked around the room. The small room was filled with clothes, bags, and sundries. There were all kinds of cosmetics on the dressing table, and there were hundreds of lipsticks. But the food at home was only enough for 2 more meals. Xiang Yi checked her photon computer account. He had already spent this month's allowance. Her credit limit was red. When it turned purple, there would probably be robots coming to take her as a labor. In these 2 days, other than crazily looking for information and cramming knowledge, Xiang Yi was also thinking about how to make money. The fastest way to make money was to go out and fight. Wealth came from danger. Or, she could go to the unemployment center to see if there were any suitable jobs. She was not in a hurry to get rich, but if she went to work, she would probably die before she got any money. Therefore, what Xiang Yi wanted now was only 2 words: safe. After some thought, she decided to go to the nearest DIY kitchen. In this world, cooking had already achieved artificial intelligence. Nowadays, only a few people would choose to cook for themselves. It had almost become a neglected hobby. The food made by the DIY kitchen could be eaten by oneself or sold to others. Some chefs who were short of money would choose this way to earn some extra money. Jianghu controlled her spending and used the last of her credit limit to take a taxi to the DIY kitchen. She bought another hour of cooking time. There were many counters in the shop that were divided into small compartments. During cooking time, kitchen utensils and spices could be used at will. The ingredients needed to be purchased separately. In order to sell it, Jianghu was going to make two of the most popular and cheapest dishes in Star City: tomato scrambled eggs and sandwiches. In addition, considering the possibility that she might not be able to sell them, she also prepared to steam a pot of buns. She noticed that there were still filming robots floating in the air that could be used for live streaming. It's really advanced. The corner of the three-star chef's mouth twitched when he heard the girl's sigh. This kind of equipment that could only take pictures and not share taste and smell had long been eliminated. Tiske, which barren planet did this country bumpkin come from? Chapter 793. Those who came from small towns were considered lowly. The young man, Andrew, pursed his lips and continued to cook. He was wearing a clean and tidy white chef's suit with an exquisite badge on his chest with 3 golden stars shining brightly. As a 3-star chef awarded by the Alliance, he earned quite a lot of money, but ever since he became obsessed with a certain virtual idol, his expenses had become too high. Paying for a single item, gifting gifts, and making thorough purchases were all standard operations. As long as he spent enough money, he could even hold hands and hug his idol. Of course, there were still some things he couldn't do. The reason Andrew was short of money recently was that he wanted to marry this virtual idol and had to pay a huge sum of money. However, Andrew had a decent job and he didn't want others to know that he was an otaku. Hence, he secretly came to the DIY kitchen to save money for his marriage. Beep! The sound of a live stream being started came from next door. Andrew smirked contemptuously. A country bumpkin is a country bumpkin. The entertainment industry in the Alliance was developed and live streams were popular throughout the galaxy. However, the competition was great and there was a lot of infighting. Not to mention that it was difficult for newcomers to make a name for themselves. Veteran hosts would be abandoned by their fans as soon as their live stream content became boring or of poor quality. Hence, hosts nowadays would pursue the use of the most high-tech equipment and live stream content to be as vivid and interesting as possible. Some would even write a script and follow it closely to the livestream. At present, the most popular live stream channels were virtual idols, games, battles, and so on. Food was a neglected channel. This DIY kitchen has such poor live stream equipment and it's a cold channel. Why would anyone watch it? Andrew thought it was ridiculous. At most, only 10 viewers would watch this country bumpkin's live stream. On the other hand, Jianghu entered the information on her optical computer and opened the live stream channel. She casually named it Eat Well and lowered her head to prepare the ingredients. The quality of the ingredients in this DIY kitchen was quite good. The tomatoes were bright red and the pulp was sweet. The eggs were plump and were about half the size of Jianghu's palm. At this moment, people started streaming into the live stream channel. No way! Are there live streams these days that don't share their sense of smell and taste? Wow, the host's hands are so beautiful. Is she a girl? Damn, she can beat eggs with one hand? 6666, that's amazing. On the hologram, the young girl's fingers were slender and nimble. Her single-handed movements were like moving clouds and flowing water. In this era where most people didn't know how to cook, it was indeed amazing. After that, Jianghu added seasoning into the egg. She didn't use any tools like a balance or 2 spoonfuls. She just added the seasoning directly. Then, she made a cross cut on the tomato and added it to the hot water to boil it for a moment. After scooping it up, she easily peeled off the tomato skin. Amazing! Is the host a star chef? How can he add such a precise dosage? Oh my God! Was the streamer performing magic? This is too amazing. Could it be that she's a star chef? There were only a few people in the live stream, so they invited their friends to watch together. The new viewers couldn't help but share the link on social media. By the time Jianghu started cooking, the number of viewers in the live broadcast room had already exceeded 100. Xiangyi suddenly remembered that Yen Kaikai had taught her to interact more with the audience when she was selling goods in the livestream room. So, she raised her small face and said gently, "Good morning, I'll start cooking now."